Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the International Grand Finals for the King of the Sea 11 tournament here together with all of us. We will have the same team as yesterday to be talking about all the things around King of the Sea and enjoying a lot of cool matches together with you. I'm not here alone. With me here is my evil twin, Mr. Conway. Mr. Conway, you wanna jump in and say hello?
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's fantastic to see you back, and I am super excited for today's games. There's some very, very promising teams going to be played today, and game one is going to be so epic. It's going to be such a grudge match and such a it's been a long time coming, this game, and it's yes, good.
This is good. Already like a little final that we'll see here, because the first match we're going to be broadcasting today is the EU winner TWA playing against the CIS winner, Smile. And if you watched any of the King of the Sea tournaments in the past, then you know these names. So this is promising to be a very good start for the broadcast.
And we've had this constellation before, right?
Yes, we actually had it for the last King of the Sea 10, if you remember. We actually had the CIS cluster playing against the EU cluster, and TW actually lost the last match, if I remember correctly, against CIS, represented by Smile.
Yes.
Because back then we had a round-robin system.
Mm-hmm.
So whichever region would take 5 points home would be winning the series.
Yes. This time it's a little bit different. This time we are going to be crowning a king of all of the seas. One team that is going to be, undoubtedly the best World of Warships team in the world.
Full of kings of the seas.
Yes, absolutely. Which is fantastic. So we have a couple of disclaimers and a couple of organizational things to explain as usual. First of all, this broadcast is running at a 5-minute delay, which means we are 5 minutes in the future. So please, if there are any technical issues, there will be, I'm sure. If I make mistakes in the overlays, please do let me know in chat, but please also remember it'll take 5 minutes for anything to reach us. And it also means that we're going to struggle to address your questions.
Yeah.
But we're still going to do our best to be present in chat and talk to you there in writing live. The other thing is we are running a prediction contest today, just as we were yesterday. Links will be spammed once this gets here, and also now they'll be spammed. So what you can do today is predict the placement of the top 3 teams. So tell us who you think is going to be first, second, and third. And for each correct guess, you will get 1 King of the Sea camouflaged voice to your account. Please make extra sure that you add the right nickname, the right server, because if you make a mistake, there's no way back. And only please submit 1 prediction, because if you submit multiple, we're just going to invalidate all of them.
Yeah, all camouflages that are not claimed because you didn't have the right nickname will go straight up to Mr. Lord of Droid and be used in random battles. So make sure to put all of your information there properly, right? We want to give you this stuff if you earned it. So make sure to put in the correct information. Second topic is obviously Twitch drops. Yes. So if you are watching on YouTube or Steam or any other platform right now, when you're hearing this, you won't be able to get Twitch drops because it's only available on the Twitch platform. So if you want to get that, come join us on Twitch. You can join any channel that's broadcasting King of the Sea. Doesn't really matter which one. Pick the streamer you like the most and have some fun with the King of the Sea broadcast. And then after watching 90 minutes, you can get your King of the Sea collection container. If you already got your container yesterday, then you already reached the maximum. For this weekend, we have 1 King of the Sea container and we had 1 container for the regional finals. That means if you're still like 1, 2, or however many containers short of completing the collection, even with the container today, don't worry, there will be more collection containers to be earned with future King of the Sea tournaments. So
yes, you'll get there eventually.
You'll get there. Yes. We already had some fun discussions in chat here where some players were saying, like, I've been working on this collection ready for 2 or 3 years and I really want to finish it. This collection has been introduced this April. Or March, actually, with King of the Sea 10 when it kicked off. So it's been like half a year, and we actually have already quite a few people who finished the collection. And no worries, you will get there. You can get them partly with Twitch drops, and we also have the missions. So, you just do what you can do, and then you will get there eventually.
Yep. What else do we have to talk about? So we were running a bonus mission. I want to give one little last shout out. If you've never collected the bonus mission before, on all of the last weekends, you can be
Here comes the spam.
You can be quite hardcore and you can try and complete it today. You can use the bonus code Kings of the Seas to activate said bonus mission. Please remember, if you've activated any of the codes on any of the previous weekends, it's the same mission, and you won't be able to complete it. You've already completed it, or you will already have the mission, so the code doesn't work for you. What else? Oh yes, speaking of Twitch drops, you are of course also, by watching us on the official channel at twitch.tv/World of Warships, eligible to get our Gothic Bismarck camouflage mission for the amazing Gothic Bismarck. If you haven't got that yet, be sure to swing by our channel for 45 minutes, pick that up, and you can earn a very, very snazzy camouflage for the Bismarck.
Yes. Go grab it. And then, do we want to talk about the tournament itself? So I'm sure that most of you know this by now, but there are some people who don't know how this whole tournament is running, and we already always see some questions, right? So we just want to cover this from the beginning. So King of the Sea is a tournament run on tier 10. It's actually organized by the community, so a big shout out here to all of the organizers, adjudicators, general people in the background who, just sacrifice their own free time to make sure that you guys can have a really cool tournament. And all of the players involved, I think we have around like 5,000 players who participated in King of the Sea 11 here globally, participating just by playing and having some fun and trying to figure out where they fit in the ladder of their region and now on the international scale. So big shout out for them. So tier 10, it's a 9v9 tournament. When it comes to class restrictions, there are 2 restrictions. No CVs are allowed and only 2 battleships per side. The amount of DDs and cruisers is completely up to the teams, and you can see most of the ships that are available in the game on tier 10. The only exception are ships that are currently special ships that have either just recently been introduced. I think there's a 6-month rule. For example, the Slava has been introduced, but is not available yet for the teams to be picked because it's too new and because it's available through the Research Bureau. And the other ship that is currently not available because it's not available to players in general, and thus would be unfair for some teams to be fielded while other teams might not be able to get their hands on it, is the Smolensk. So these are ships you might be expecting or eager to see in one of the setups, but that's the reason why you won't be able to see them. You can find all of this information actually on the King of the Sea Discord if you're interested in, the whole tournament, or maybe you want to help in the future to run one of the King of the Sea tournament matches in the background and just help with being there. You can go to the King of the Sea Discord. Mr. Conway, I'm sure, is going to be dropping a link for the King of the Sea Discord as well in the chat, so you can check it out if you want to.
I'm not that sure I'm going to. I need to find it first. But yeah. So a lot of cool stuff happened for this tournament. We had some very exciting games yesterday. We had some really exciting finals 2 weeks ago. And
so for context, guys, if you just tuned in,
yes,
the stage we're at right now is up until
maybe
last week. You can actually show
we have this
beautiful graphic, right? So we are at the international stage, but each of the regions ran their own regional King of the Sea tournament. So each region has a winner, and the international set of games that we have right now included the top 3 teams of each of the regions. So as you can see here, in the graphic right next to me over here, we had 3 teams from each cluster. The winning team was already pre-seeded. For example, you will see this here with NA1, the team was Devastating Strike 07, or Kaxa from the Asian cluster. For EU, it was TWA, aka Ban CV, and from the CAS cluster, it was Smile. And the other teams had to fight it out. They still had a chance to actually get into a match against the first place from the other region and have a chance to participate in the semifinals. And that's the stage we're at right now today. And for context, because all of these teams are playing from home and they're from very, very different parts of the planet, we had to find a way to keep time zones halfway reasonable and not force people to play like at super weird times. So we're going to be having the match of Vor versus Lair at the same time as Ban CV versus Smile. And we're going to be broadcasting Ban CV versus Smile because we haven't seen Smile yesterday and wanted to broadcast this match. And then
plus, this is going to be an epic match. They faced each other before multiple times, I believe, and it's always an epic clash when this happens. So
Smile, and TW have been around for such a long time in competitive King of the Sea in general, and Smile actually won for the CS cluster the last international cluster, a clash of servers. That's what we called it. Because it was only EU versus CIS. That was King of the Sea 10. And in King of the Sea 8, Smile actually lost against Rain when Rain was winning 3-0. So, it has been a back and forth over the time with Smile and the Russian clans in general. So it's going to be super amazing. And the winner of that match is going to be in the finals playing against the winner of War versus Lair. And all of the matches you'll be seeing today are going to be best of threes. So today's broadcast is going to be a bit shorter than the last times.
Absolutely. By the way, it's anyway, there was the server clash, not the clash of servers, but I'm just being finicky now, right? So let's have a look. We are going to be broadcasting the first game starting at 16:30 CEST real time. So for you, that's going to be 16:35, which is in an amazing 4 minutes from now. So we are actually, I can see in the background, Flamu is getting ready to get in game. We have the same lineup as yesterday. Flamu and Kiryu and Ichiban are going to be doing our gameplay casting, and you're going to be able to look forward to gameplay, post-game commentary, and general theory crafting with Statsbloke, Flambass, Searaptor, and Lord Zath, which is excellent. Such a cool collection of people that we have today.
Overall, like for me, this is you know this, chat, but I still have to say it. I love this international setup. You get to see completely different metas from different servers. You also now get different commentary from different regions, because up until this point, the official broadcast usually included us from the EU server. And when we covered matches, for example, like the EU versus NA, we didn't really have the chance to get in NA broadcasters. So now we have. And that provides us with more insights. For example, yesterday we were talking about Devastating Strike 07, the team that has been winning the King of the Sea on NA for, I think, 5 times and 3 times consecutive winner. So a really, really dominant team. And getting some insights from them is always very helpful because they casted all of their games in the past. So I hope you enjoy this, to see other servers, because we all play on one, at least most of us. And we're kind of... we have like a little bit of tunnel vision of how things are being played there, and then suddenly seeing completely new approaches to maps, like we saw yesterday on Crash Zone Alpha, for example, or on North, which still seems to be very popular, because North is going to be the first map.
Should we quickly have a look at? Let's have a quick look at what we can expect. So we are going to start off our series on North, which was picked by TWA. We're then going to continue to Tears of the Desert, which was picked by Smile, and Shatter is the remaining map that wasn't banned by either team. The way this works is both teams get to ban 2 maps each. Then they pick 1 map each. The opposing team gets to pick the spawn for that map. And then we have 7 maps in the map pool, so that's the last one that's going to be played. So we saw a lot of North yesterday, and I don't know. It's always,
we saw amazing North play by Lair.
Yes, that middle push. Ooh.
I'm super curious to see what Smile is going to do. I didn't see all of the matches of Smile from the CIS finals, but they're one of the teams that loves to field a Yuyang, a smoke Yuyang. Smoking up the team and pushing it around. And they also like to bring Nevskis. So I'm really curious to see how this will clash with TWA's strategy, because as far as I remember, TWA loved to pick North, but actually lost it against Junk, if I recall correctly.
Well, but look, I'm going to give the same prediction again, right? This is the TWA style. They're going to hand the first map, they'll try, but it won't quite work out. They'll hand it to Smile, but then they'll come back strong with a 2-1.
I think TWA seems to be... like they want to win this map. I think they'll win this map, and Smile will come back.
Yes,
with a 1-1. But I love to see both of these teams.
Yes, absolutely. Look, Smile plays fantastic World of Warships. They're one of the best teams I've ever seen play. And whenever we've had the pleasure to watch CIS finals, it's always been fantastic fun to watch, because they play a very different game, and they play it very They know what they're doing. So it's going to be interesting how this clashes with TWA's methodical style. I'm super hyped for this game. Super hyped. We can see in the background that teams are indeed readying up, more or less. We are missing, I think, 1 player on the Smile team right now, and then we'll be able to get going.
Yep. So what are the teams actually going to be able to win? So we have, for the first 4 placed teams, so the teams that we have here right now in the semifinals, they're going to be playing for digital prizes. So the winner is going to get a tier 9 premium ship of their choice. The second place will get a tier 8, third place tier 7, and fourth place will get a tier 6, plus a clan token, so they can actually get a cool camouflage from the armory. So that should be a nice incentive to win today, besides the bragging rights and being able to...
I think it's mostly the bragging rights, to be honest.
I'm sure that 07 is not very happy that they dropped out already before the semifinals. They had really good games, but they couldn't make it into the semifinals. And you definitely want to represent your server in the best way, because there will be players. A lot of players will say like, you have to defend the honor of the EU server or the CIS server. And the CIS server actually has 2 teams in the semifinals with Lair and Smile. So 2 very good teams. We've seen Lair before, even in the international finals.
And Lion Drum is back, by the way. He would like to have the honor of owning HMS Belfast for the low price of 19,169 doubloons. I love your persistence, Lion Drum. The answer is still no, but please keep trying. Thank you.
Indeed. Yeah, so these teams have been like very well known. Vor, we've seen before. Actually, Vor participated, if I recall correctly, in King of the Sea 10 on the EU side and won against, I think it was Fufu from the CIS cluster, representing EU and trying to win against the CIS cluster. And
it looks as though we have 1 minute to go till teams are going to start the game. Should we check out the map video introduction? Yes.
The map introduction video. Okay, we'll show the map introduction video, and then we'll see you on this side. Make sure to check out the prediction link.
Yes, I'm going to spam it again. It'll be there. Remember, you have to vote soon, because votes will close at 5 o'clock Central European Summertime. And maybe we'll see you back here if there's an issue. Otherwise, we'll see you after the game. Good luck and have fun to both teams. Bye-bye.
The rocky shores of the North Sea comprise the setting for a titanic clash of enemy fleets. This is North. North is a 48 by 48 kilometer domination-style map with 3 cap points running a line from west to east. The A cap is on the left, B is in the center, and C is on the right. Cap A on the left is the most open and accessible on the board. There are plenty of ways in and out for destroyers and not many places for radar cruisers to hide nearby. As the smallest capture area on the board, the most common access to Cap B comes from due north or south, but there is a small access via a channel between the islands on the eastern edge. Further to the east, Cap C has a single island within that can provide some cover for ships attempting to capture, but there's enough island cover nearby to conceal radar cruisers from multiple directions. 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play North.
Battle starts.
And we are live with our semi-final. TWA, aka Ben CV, representing EU against Smile, the team that won the CIS King of the Sea. And my oh my, this is certainly gonna start off with a clash of playstyles. Just look at these picks from Smile.
Yeah, we're gonna see the Yu Yang Nevsky smoke train that we saw last time, which is gonna probably work really well, I think, against all these Petros if they can sit at range. Or at least especially against Yoshi Stalin. It's going to be really easy to keep him lit.
I think they might even mix in a Hindenburg behind the smoke, because it looks like Hindenburg is joining the Yu Yang Nevsky train. So that's a lot of firepower in that one smoke, and anything they can keep spotted on that flank is really going to struggle under that firepower.
Yeah, and we're seeing the usual Smile deployment where they don't go near anything, but look how many ships they're sending over to the A side. It's almost more than half their fleet.
I mean, this is what I mentioned yesterday about the Smile deployment. You see how they, once again, they're not going straight for the objectives, they're not going straight towards, they're spreading out. They go basically to both sides before they push in anywhere. The only ship they send in is the Kleber, everyone else super safe deployment. And this is standard from what we saw from Smile during CIS battles as well. But that means TWA will always pretty much get to take whatever map control they want.
Yeah. Where do you think TWA will set up, since they see the Nevskys, they know, they probably watched finals, so they know.
Ikean Layton catches the Kleber with the radar. Oh, the Kleber slows down to juke. So there's going to be 2 volleys, but he will probably get the cap right after that, because there will be no real follow-up. Shells are out. He stops to juke. Oh, doesn't it? Jukes a fair bit. But they will be blind firing him, and they're blind firing him a lot. And here's basically the downside of keeping your ship so far back. There's no one who can really punish. And I feel like we didn't really talk about something that really needs to be highlighted, and that's the fact that Smile bought a Conqueror and a Republic. These are two picks that the EU teams basically never bring.
Oh, yeah. What do you think the Conqueror adds here? Especially on a flank where they kind of need AP to crossfire stuff.
I think it's maybe to just stop potential Petro. I mean, they probably know there's going to be a ton of Petro from the side of TWA, so is Conqueror like the answer to the Petro spam? Just melt them with those HE volleys?
Maybe. I mean, we've seen teams try to do it with Thunder, and I think Thunder might be a little more effective because it has the larger gun, so it has that AP option.
TWA blind firing like crazy. They actually get 10,000 off Meduzco. Meanwhile, RNG Sama has pushed into this cap, and there are Deepwater Torps coming his way, which are scouted by him, so it's obviously the Petros behind are not going to eat any of those. This, of course, is a battle of attrition on this flank, because Smile's tactic involving this Yu Yang is cycling smokes, parking both the Nevskys and, I assume, the Hindenburg behind or inside the smoke, and then just chipping down the Petros until they're forced back so very far that even the Yu Yang dares to take the fight with the small end, because the team support he has will tilt that or tip that fight in his favor. The thing is, the question is how much damage will they get in on this Petros?
Yeah, I mean, Yu Yang has to keep them spotted at the same time, and the issue with that is every time he spots the Petros, they radar him and take off more of his BP. In clan battles, you see teams can do this, and then you spot with the carrier, and it's free spotting. But the Yu Yang can only spot the Petros so many times if they get good hits on him. Interesting
random radar by Goat Wizard there, I think, just to make sure they're not trying that center push we saw them try at one point. RNG Sama does get radared by the Nevsky. The Nevsky radar, of course, lasts a very long time. It's not the Petro short duration radar, but I think with the radar mode you get it to 36 seconds. So RNG Sama cannot sit in this radar and try to juke, he just has to run away. And wow, he's actually taking a fair bit of damage, but he's still spotted. They are keeping him radared quite well. He finally goes dark, but that amount of firepower coming his way speaks a pretty harsh language. He does have the heal, however, and the Yu Yang also gets radared as he spots Skinny Mod, but here comes the smoke firepower on him, and the question is how much damage will they get in on Skinny Mod? The two Nevskys alone might not be that much of an issue, but mixing in this Hindenburg behind the smoke, where his smoke firing penalty won't be as much of an issue, his 50mm pen is going to do a ton of damage on these Petros.
Yeah, I think the thing that we actually see from TWA is they don't really have an answer to the smoke ball. Like with Lair, when we saw them play against us, they didn't have any spotter plane battleships, they didn't bring a lot of torpedo power, so they have really no way to dislodge these ships in smoke, at least for now.
Yeah, Smile has utilized this in the past, and they've been very, very effective with it. Adding the Petra in the center to provide his own kind of spotting and crossfire as well. This is a lot of firepower on this flank. This is 5 ships on this flank. They probably don't know how many ships it is yet. Oh no, so RNG Sama gets radared again, and every time he gets radared, the punish is so brutal because the sheer amount of cruiser firepower on this flank. They do, however, lack battleship firepower, but the Republic is moving that way. DNO Gaming gets crossfired in return. They're trying to chime in as much as they can, and wow, really good focus fire on DNO, but that's because he's straight up rushing for this cap. I think once he gets behind this island, they're gonna struggle to keep him reset. I guess that's the plan.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be able to. I don't think they're gonna struggle to keep him reset. He's popped his radar for RNG Sam already, so RNG.
Oh, then he's just gonna sit there, and he didn't dare to go up to the island the way he probably would have wanted. He wanted to go for the island, but Kirimod messed up those plans. I think this was a misplay. This was quite a brutal... Oh, huge citadels from Kirimod. He tries to get to the island, but the Kirimod isn't allowing it, because he's just sitting there. They're trying to trade as much damage as they can on Blood Legend, but ultimately the Crossfire is doing a whole lot more to Smile than the DPM is doing to TWA right now.
Yeah, and he can just press W and run away. They're moving the smoke up, but like Blood Legend will be able to go dark, or get safe here pretty easily.
Even RNG Sama is chiming in on the damage now, just lobbing shells over the island. They forced the damage con on DNO Gaming. If they get a fire now, he doesn't have damage con. He just used it on that single fire, hoping to go dark. If Kirimod starts a fire, he does not. Can he go dark? He's trying to reverse, he stopped shooting. There's the Blood Legend radar. They're trying to cycle all. They got 3 radars potentially they can cycle here to keep him spotted. They are trying to keep him lit. There's another volley. They need that fire before his damage con comes up. Again, no fire, no damage either. RNG really favoring Smile here, and he goes dark. And this is the situation what I meant. There's the follow-up from the Goat Wizard radar. Once this radar is down, they will struggle to keep him lit. And this is where he wanted to get from the start, but he has struggled because of the crossfire. Can he still get a fire? By this point, his damage con will already be up, so the fire will actually not do a whole lot. Still no fire, and DNO Gaming gets away with it.
Wow. I mean, I think TWA's reaction to this is really good, though. They're bringing over the Petro and the Thunder and the Stalin are kind of all moving up into mid now, getting a little bit closer here. So they forced away the Republic, and now they've kind of cornered all of Smile's ships up at the A cap. So they're okay to give this up. They'll just take B and eventually take C with these 3 ships pushing through here.
Yeah, Angel Stone so aggressive in that Thunder, taking B in probably one of the squishiest tier 10 battleships, with the exception maybe of Borgonia. Meanwhile, this push from TWA moving very, very slowly. They are getting into a position to contest C, and honestly, once the Des Moines gets into this gap, he will just be able to cap C, and there is absolutely nothing Smile can do to reset it, because they have no real crossfires, besides the Republic trying to take pot shots at 30 kilometers.
I mean, they can get a crossfire whenever they need it, because the Thunder could just run up mid. Mid is totally open for him. Or the Stalin Guide, even. One of those ships could get the crossfire if they wanted to. I actually think it would be good if they moved Goat Wizard up towards the island, so that he can get his radar, like, opposite of DNO Gaming. Now that the Republic is forced so far away, if he moves up to the island, he'll be able to radar all 3 of these Russian cruisers, Smile cruisers, push towards Goat Wizard.
It's interesting that Smile is very, very committed to try to convert kills here on this flank, but TWA isn't letting them. They're playing so very, very safe with these Petros, because TWA knows that as long as they don't die, they are gaining advantages on the rest of the map, so there's no reason really to take foolhardy trades. So overall, TWA is playing against this smoke comp really, really well, even though they don't have a direct counter. They're not really giving it a whole lot.
Yeah. How do you think? What do you think Smile does from here? I mean, they can't really push. They can push into the Petros, but they're just going to disengage again. You think they just need to burn down the Thunder, maybe, or the Stalin?
I don't know. The thing is, TWA is the greatest weakness of this comp is ultimately that it's tied up to these smokes, and they have to move as a group, and a group is only as fast as the slowest ship. So these 4 ships are very limited in how much they move. Once they pop the smoke, that's kind of where they have to sit until they get another smoke, because in open water, Nevsky just doesn't do very well, especially against this kind of firepower. So as long as TWA just keeps kiting and delaying this entire comp, they're gonna struggle really to get too much value out of it.
Oh, this actually could be really bad for so the Yu Yang is dragging this smoke forward, but if all the cruisers proceed with him, they're gonna all be in Kinemon's radar and be caught broadside to the Thunder, Goat Wizard, and Yoshi.
Oh, good hits on the Yu Yang. Russian Admiral gets caught, and he's down to half HP. They're trying to focus down Blood Legend in return, but not really a whole lot of luck with that. Because the thing is, once they stop shooting, the Yu Yang has to push up and spot, and that's when they can radar and just counter-strike.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the Nevsky's charging out of the smoke, Zidrin here.
I think they're really, really trying to convert the kill here, because they realize that the rest of the map isn't really going so hot for them, because TWA, this is such a large commitment of force. This is 4 ships in basically 1 square, and TWA isn't giving it a fair fight. And now when the Nevsky decides, no, I want to push in, I want to take this fight, well, now he has to open water gunboat against crossfiring Petros. And this is not something that the Nevsky does well. There's a reason he should stick to that smoke, and it's becoming absurdly obvious why he should stick to that smoke. He cannot survive in the open water, and he will go down very, very quickly. I think that was a uncharacteristic mistake by Smile, because TWA was just so very patient. That's what they're known for. They're not gonna they make those mistakes. They're not gonna give them that value that they're looking for. So he got impatient and he tried to get value elsewhere, and instant punishment.
I think they were trying to use the Nevsky to spot instead of the Yu Yang, because they need to preserve the Yu Yang HP. But that really doesn't work out when you have such a squishy ship. If I were to YOLO a ship out, there would have been the Hinden.
I mean, and look at this arrangement of firepower that TWA has set up around this. They basically cordoned off the smoke. No one is really near it, but they got Petro, Thunder, Stalingrad all surrounding it. Anything that gets spotted is instantly crossfired.
Yeah. That's I mean, they basically formed a perfect concave around it. Smile's forces on the other parts of the map are really gonna have to fix this issue.
Republic
They don't have
chunks
any
Sneaky
pressure.
Snake pretty damn hard, but besides the Kleber spotting him, what can they really do to keep vision on him? The Kleber is keeping him spotted, but RNG-sama can kind of just push up and bully him away with the radar.
Yeah.
The problem
I mean-
is, though, Republic does really well against Nose in Des Moines, because good accuracy and overmatch, that's another huge chunk. He's getting really good RNG on those volleys, and Sneaky Snake is losing far more health than he's comfortable with. Meanwhile, though, Ohio is pushing up to brawl the Conquer, and that's a battle that very much favors the Ohio.
Yeah, I don't know if the Conqueror should make this push. He should probably stop. He's trying to corner Sneaky Snake so the Republic farms his nose, and the Conqueror will get him if he reverses, but once Darth Enning gets in the fight, he's just going to kill him straight up.
It looks like this smoke train is trying to reposition once again, but I really love this from Kinemod. He's angled away, but he's not giving up the position. This is something to learn from. Not giving up the position and just holding on to it, because he knows he won't get killed, and his position provides such a nasty crossfire, because he's basically the hammer to his team's anvil right now. Anything that gets spotted, he's got the perfect broadside on.
Yeah. And I mean, the points are starting to run away in TWA's favor. They're at 100 points, and there's only 2 minutes left in the game in terms of ticking.
Conqueror is pushing up. The small one did spot the Kleber, forcing him back, so Sneaky Snake will be able to get undetected. However, the Conqueror is forcing him back. Conqueror will probably go for the ram. That's probably his play, but I don't think Darthening will allow it. I think Darthening is going to try to evade the ram. Oh, and if it becomes a drive-by, then this... Oh, VC Rider already has the guns aimed for the drive-by, but Ohio Citadel isn't that easily accessible, unlike Conqueror Citadel, which is incredibly vulnerable. As we saw, VC Rider shot quite well, but it's not... Oh, never mind!
Ooh.
Huge play! He lands perfect shots on every single one, and he just straight up devastates Darthening. More importantly, he's got the heel ticking. If he gets behind a corner, if he can get into cover... The Petro will struggle to kill him. The Petro has to basically reverse up to get these shots, but Ryder will just angle against him, and there's potential that he might be able to do huge damage to Ikean Leitung as well. Fantastic play by VCG Ryder.
Yeah, and Sneaky Snake in the meantime has gotten down to 11k with the Republic in his face at 12 kilometers.
And the Petro is also pushing into B against Angelstone. Not having much success there. Angelstone is just chunking him hard. VCG Rider down to 6,000. He's used his heal. He's going to get one last volley off. He goes for the stern. Decent damage, but not really enough. Ikean Leitung is so angled that he's basically bouncing all that AP, and they do finally take him down. But the Kleber is going to go for the YOLO. The Sneaky Snake is stuck. He's stuck in the island trying to dodge the Kleber shots. Meduska will be picking up this kill. There's no way he can dodge it. RNG-sama trying to focus him down as much damage as possible, but with those improved torp angles, there is no way he doesn't get the torps off, and Sneaky Snake will guaranteed go down. But so will Meduska? Oh yes, he will.
Yep.
It is a trade though, and the caps stay in TWA's favor, which is extremely important right now. 886 to 734. Another huge chunk on this smoke train. They get spotted, and Kinemod with that crossfire just blapping them hard. Nevsky down to 8,000, Hindenburg down to 24, getting chunked from every single angle. DNO Gaming is trying to bully the Thunder, but the Thunder is angled against basically everything except the Republic, and the Republic shots come in over the island. They take him down to 9,000 health. He's forced to disengage. More firepower comes in. He takes down the Hindenburg, but he will almost certainly go down himself. He gets punched through the stern and killed. Yoshi pushes up. He will be able to take down DNO Gaming, no doubt about it. The question is, can the Republic get shots on him? No, the islands will protect him. They need to kill the Petro, and they need to not lose anyone else, and they should have it in the bag. 970, Ikean Leitung is running away exactly as he should. RNG-sama is disengaging. All they need to do is not give them any kills, and everyone from TWA is just gunning it away from the enemy, taking absolutely zero risks. And this was an example of that TWA positional play against these smile tactics, and they do it so flawlessly. They do it so very, very well. Or, well, almost flawlessly. That Conqueror drive-by was actually god tier. I have no idea how he got away with that. He was down to 4,000 health, but he landed basically nothing but citadels on the Ohio and absolutely devastated him. In the end, though, TWA prove why they are the EU champs. That positional play against that smoke train was absolutely beautiful to watch. Let's send it off to the studio.
Wow, that was a great kickoff for this international grand finals with the semifinals that we saw here. And we'll get our guests in and talk about this match from TWA against Smile on North. Hey, guys.
Well, the TWA just take their own pick, their own map.
Crazy, right?
But it's not the EU regionals anymore,
They
so you're
did.
allowed to.
They did indeed.
I don't know. Is this a good or a bad sign?
Let's just say it's a good one.
I gotta say, we were talking. Me and Stats were talking about a couple of things. What went wrong here for Smile? We've seen that kind of questionable Yu Yang pick again. That I don't think it actually worked. And Smile pretty much had the plan of we'll take a big blob of ships with a lot of DPM. We're gonna get some kills over A. We will take A. We will just collapse on B and keep status quo on C. That was their plan. 6 ships were committed to that, if you count Republic in the back. Ban CV was defending with 3, and they were in favorable position in terms of HP, and they even got a kill. Impressive defense without losing a ship. Like, I was looking at what's happening, and I couldn't believe that 3 ships are holding 6 successfully. And then a couple of trades at the end of there. Not exceptionally favorable for TWA, but they managed to get on top, and it was absolutely fine. They were in control.
I spent most of that match with this expression on my face. Because I was looking... Because Ban CV was set up in such a way to receive that push, which I think they were expecting, because Russian teams tend to do that heavier on one side tactic.
Yeah, and Smile was known for this, yeah.
Yeah, and they just kind of flexed above A and kind of spread out to get the angles. But then Smile just pushed into the kill box, especially with that Nevsky just driving out of the front of the smoke and just going, yo.
I think he disconnected. I could not think of
any
any
is
other
that
reason.
The player that disconnected?
We think he disconnected at the wrong time, and so the game doesn't know. He just keeps doing what you were doing last.
Now that makes sense.
Ship does not continue going when you disconnect.
It does for a little while.
It does for a little while. Absolutely,
yeah, that's true.
It does for a little while. If you were going, it'll keep driving around until the server registers you disconnect. Then it turns off your engines and you just sit there.
Anyway, I don't think it would have made a difference because you're taking 3 ships, Hindenburg and 2 Nevskys, that can't push without a smoke.
Right.
In a smoke and if the smoke is there, you've got 3 radar ships opposite you. And so you can't push them anyway because you can't push into the radar range with the smoke. So how do you intend on pushing with 3 ships that can't push?
To me, the short version is what we just saw was one team came in, Smile came in with a very well-defined, well-oiled, incredibly well-executed strategy, and TWA had obviously done their research and come up with their way to just say, no, guys, we got this, right? They knew what they expected what they got, and they knew what they needed to do to counter it, and they played it to perfection. It's that simple.
And that even with like two mistakes I would see on TWA side with not being able to convert the kill on A with the Petro, because the Petro survived with like 4 to 6k health. And then I really think that the Ohio getting blapped by the Conqueror was a huge misplay because Darthening, he should have been aware. He saw that Conqueror pushing around. He didn't have the rear turrets available. He only had the front turrets. So that was really something that surprised me because he could have even gone for a ram. That in that situation, leading on points, leading on caps, would have been a favorable trade anyway. But then getting knocked out by the Conqueror and almost risking the Petro was a bit of a misplay.
The game there.
Yeah,
that's what I was expecting. Petro? I was expecting the ram, but then he overturned, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna go for the drive-by.
I thought actually the Conqueror would go for the trade with the ram because at least from an HP pool point of view, he would open up that battleship lockdown that they had down there and potentially shoot something else. But no, he went for the drive-by and he got away with it. So a good push by the Conqueror and trading decently there. But at the end, it didn't really make that much of a difference when it comes to the outcome of the battle. I think that, with Smile going for such a big blob of ships and not being able to utilize that DPM concentrated in that area to take down the Petros, which for me was really surprising to see that they couldn't take down, for example, Blood Legend.
Yeah, it was insane. 6 versus 3, and Ban CV just wasn't losing ships. I was just watching and thinking, how is this possible? 6 versus 3. These guys are still alive, and they're still keeping the circle. And Smile is just slowly going inside, and they're still keeping the the circle around him. I'm like, the longer this goes, the better the angles are going to get. And when that Nevsky steamed outside, you just saw just how fast he got killed.
You just saw TWA with a textbook deployment of give ground, juggle your detections. Don't let them see the weak target anytime that you don't have to. And it was just incredibly well played from both teams. Smile executed their strategy perfectly. I feel like TWA came into this game having done their research and watched these matches, maybe watched some previous games or something, and developed their own counter strategy and said, we got this. We're good to go.
I honestly hope that's not how perfectly executed strategy looks like, because that did not look perfect to me.
No, okay. You misunderstand what I'm saying. Tactically, there were errors. We talked about those, right? There at any game, because it's played by humans, there's going to be tactical errors made on the battlefield. Of course. But at the strategic level, the ship deployments, the plan they went in with, where they were going to put things, how they were going to deal with the smoke push, they had a plan, and that was well done.
Why Republican? Why stick the Republic in the back sniping? That makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Sorry, guys. I just see that the teams are readying up in the background, so we'll have to move on to the next match in a second. Yeah, interesting ship choices. But do you think that Smile is going to change anything up for the next match, because that's going to be their own map pick on Land of Fire?
Oh, absolutely. They're going to have something prepared for sure.
Oh no, actually, it's Tears of the Cruiser. Yeah.
Tears. Yep.
I wonder whether we'll see a nosing cruiser down on the 10 line next to that island on the border again. That was really interesting last time.
One thing Smile needs to do is, if they're going to push with that Destiny, if they do that tactic again, they have to push one specific side of the map, not towards the middle, like what Flambass was saying, and get themselves surrounded. They have to push on one end and work their way in.
It would also help if they would do that strategy, how that strategy was initially designed, with 2 destroyers and not just 1. I'm guessing that's why they decided to go in for Yu Yang, because faster cycling of smokes, but you're too slow, kind of. When you take that amount of ships, you really need to get in relatively fast and start putting ships down. And it took longer than it should have, and they didn't manage to put any ships down. And then on top of all of that, they actually lost a ship.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, curious. I'm really curious to see whether they're going to be sticking to the Yu Yang strategy, because I've seen Smile deploy this not only on one map, but on several maps. So, and this is a best of 3. So, chat, this counts. If Smile doesn't win this map, they're going to be out of the tournament. So they really have to bring their best strategy and their best lineup.
I am cheering for TWA absolutely here. But
we know that Flambass is very, very unbiased when it comes to the servers.
I'm not going to be too sad if they take it to the 3rd game and win there. I want to see Shatter. I really want to see that map, because that's some crazy stuff.
Yeah, Seth and I were talking about that, how much fun it is to see what teams do on that map, because it's just insane.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And thankfully, we've got more time to talk, so.
Yeah.
Yes. So, guys, what do you think? Who's going to take this one?
Smile.
I'm going to go with Smile as well. I think they're too good to go out in straight games.
No.
Yeah, probably.
I think TWA have got the flexibility to counter their heavy side push tactic.
I think Smile might take this battle. It's their ground. I'd be shocked if they lose 2-0, to be honest.
So my gut feeling is TWA is going to take this, even though I would love for Smile to take this map so we get to see a 3rd match. But I was really impressed with TWA, and I think they are in a really good shape today. So
it's
Mr.
a win-win for us.
you wanna give us your guess?
I think Smile's going to take one.
Okay, so we'll see. We'll be handing over to our casters. So enjoy the match, and don't forget to give your predictions in our campaign, so you can also win some prizes for your correct guesses. So see you on the other side. Enjoy, and
see you after the battle.
Good luck to the teams.
Indeed.
And we are live with the 2nd game of the series. This time, Smile is looking to counter TWA with kind of their own setups, but look at this. We do see the classic Republic, but Borgonia? Haven't seen that in a while.
That is Angel Stone's thing, though. He's brought Borgo to a lot of King of the Seas before. So
yeah, he has. I mean, he's obviously very, very good at it. But the problem here is that complete lack of overmatch. Oh, it's probably going to be a reset. I do want to highlight, though, Many 406mm guns struggle with the overmatch as well now with the introduction of the Petro, so maybe Borgonia isn't that crazy of an idea? Regardless, this is clearly gonna go back into the training room, so let's send it back to the studio.
And we're back here. So yeah, we sometimes this happens, right? If there's an issue in the training room in the beginning of the match, we give the teams a chance to restart, but they're not allowed to change any of the lineups. That would be unfair, and we don't want to see that. So yeah, I saw some questions here in chat also about who's actually playing here. So you are seeing right now TWA, the winner of BanCV. Don't get triggered by me calling them TWA. It's just ingrained in my brain after like dozens of King of the Sea tournaments with them having TWA as a name that they are BanCV now. And they are the winners of the EU.
Technically, you can't say dozens because it's King of the Sea 11.
Well,
so it's not even 1 dozen yet.
Unless we count the internationals as separate, and then
it's still only 1 dozen.
Mr. Conway being technically correct, yes. So they're the winners from the EU regional finals, and Smile is the winner of the CIS regional finals. So you get to see the top teams of one of our 2 major clusters here playing against each other. And this is going to be the map pick of Smile. And the next map, Mr. Conway, was chosen randomly, right, by the bot? Shatter. If we advance, no?
Because each team, the difference to the previous stages is that each team let me jump on camera here. I feel unseen.
You are unseen.
How we did it in EU in previous stages was that each team banned 1 map, and then they each picked a map and a spawn, and then they got a random assigned map. But now each team bans 2 maps, then they each pick 1. The opposing team gets to pick the spawn for the map the other team picked, and the last map is the one that's left over.
Okay, perfect. Do you want me to tell players who's actually leading in the other semifinals?
If you know.
So I know Vor is leading 1-0 against Lair. And we've seen Lair absolutely demolishing enough.
Okay, that would be interesting. I mean, it would be very cool to have 1, 2, and 3 from different regions. So it's still possible. Unfortunately, our NA friends got knocked out yesterday.
In a set of really cool matches against Vor.
Yes, that was Vor played very well. 07 played very well, but
if you haven't seen that match, I would actually recommend you to watch the whole series because it was a really interesting set of matches that went back and forth, and it was definitely worth it.
So teams are loading into battle. So are you gonna change your prediction based on the lineups?
No, I'm going to stick with TWA, even though I want Smile to win. So we're going to see a 3rd match. Chat, enjoy this one. We'll see you on the other side and talk about what will happen in the next 20 minutes.
Good luck to the teams. Have fun.
And we are live with our 2nd attempt at this 2nd game. As mentioned earlier, Borgonia from TWA, certainly a unique pick, and once again, Smile bringing the Republic. The CIS server just values the Republic far higher than basically any other server I've seen. It's kind of their thing, the same way Montana is an American thing.
Yeah, I'm very curious at what Angelstone is going to do with his Borgonia here. Like, what is the use case? Where do you send it?
Right? I mean, generally speaking, the reason why people don't pick Borgonia that much is 380mm guns, which means you struggle to overmatch even basically the light cruisers as with that deck armor, and only 74,700 health with 32mm plating all over the place. So it is a very, very squishy battleship, especially under the focus fire that you get in these kind of competitive games.
Yeah, looking at the deployment, it looks pretty standard with the Borgonia just going to be playing a normal battleship role here. I had a flashback to, I think it was Trap, many COTs ago. I think it was TWA that ran the Borgonia straight into the middle of the map. But it looks like he will not be doing that here.
We do have Goat Wizard with the Moskva, which is also a unique pick. So that means the reason to pick Moskva over Petro and Stalingrad. Longer radar, but wanting HE DPM instead of Stalingrad's AP, I guess?
I mean, you don't really need the HED. Like, when you play massive Petro comps, you're going for that crossfire, right?
Right,
You don't really care
right.
about HEDPM.
But they still choose it instead of the Stalingrad, so shorter fire duration against their Nevsky comps? Maybe that's what they were worried about?
I mean, they're not bringing the Nevsky.
Right? So, yeah, but they don't know that. They have to prepare for it, so I'm not sure. Unique picks regardless, and Kleber picks up B kind of for free, but in the meanwhile, Blood Legend has just pushed up to this B island, and I think it's just going to threaten to cap this, and I don't know really what they can do about it except keep the Kleber in position.
Yeah, I mean, because Seaside is Smile's weak side, they really don't have anything to do about this. It's gonna take forever for the two Petros to farm him down.
All right, and I mean they're gonna get farmed in return by that flank pushing up. So, Angel Stone goes towards the center. There's an early radar on the Kleber by the looks of it. Kleber takes a bit of chip damage. Angel Stone has his guns prepped for anyone showing himself. The Borgonia advantage is, of course, the speed. It can be quite quick around the map and perhaps catch them in surprising angles. The Kleber pops up. They do not have vision of him.
Yeah, they're just, I mean, they're just going to threaten the center. They have such good center control right now with these two Petros, but Smile has no ships in the middle, and they're not keen on sending any there. Everyone is going up towards A. How do you think this flank is going to fare for?
I mean, this is such a heavy push coming from Smile. And unlike the last time, this push will not be slowed down by the necessity of hiding in smoke. I think they're going to take that one smoke just to get these ships up to the island. The Submerse is going to lay a quick smoke up to the island just to make sure the Salem especially gets there without taking fire. But if they get the Salem and the Petra up here to the island, there is no way TWA can hold on to A. They're just going to have to back off and abandon it because there's just going to be too much firepower. It's interesting that Smile actually has sent both their battleships to the same cap, so they really want this A control.
It's actually, I really like the thing that Smile is doing with the two ships that are rushing the island, Zidrin and the Ozai and the Salem and Petro. Like, usually the teams put their Des Moines class cruiser in the smoke as it runs up to the rock.
Really good fire damage on. They're getting pretty damn good damage on the Submerse. He loses a third of his health. He does get some torps off. They are spotted, I assume. Oh, one is gonna catch Sneak is... No, never mind. Just a bit of desync. It goes underneath the rudder. Ikea Leitung is being chunked pretty hard by the Thunder and the Petro. The Submerse, however, does get up to the island, and I'm not sure if these ships have even shot. I think they're just sneaking up in the meanwhile, so that's why TWA is still pushing in. I don't think they realize what's coming up behind that smoke.
Yeah, I mean, they have to know the Salem is there. Once you see the smoke going up, you know exactly what's going to be there. But they definitely don't know that the Petro is.
They might not even know about the Republic. He took a very, very wide angle up there. I'm not sure if they have even vision of him. And as far as I can tell, has the Republic even shot yet? I don't think he has.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like these Petros would be more hurt, especially Idiot and Leitung, if the Republic had shot.
Right? I think this is... They're sneaking. That's really it. This is an ambush play. Yeah, look at this. Ken Leitung is pushing in. He doesn't realize... He thinks it's a Salem. He thinks it's a Salem there, and he's like, well, Salem, sure, it's going to be a problem, but I mean, it's going to take the Salem a long time to kill me. And with the Kremlin crossfire, that should be fine, but there's a whole lot more than just a Salem behind the smoke.
Do you think they can do anything up here? I think it's still going to be really, really hard for them to push around with the Kremlin crossfire, especially.
The Kremlin being there is such an asset right now, and the Borgonia can potentially reinforce them pretty damn quick, but I think the plan here is just basically kind of blitzkrieg. They're gonna pop up and just charge around. They still have no vision. Hydro has caught the Salem. Can't Leitung angles away because of the crossfire, and now they see everything. Now they see everything. He pops a radar, and now they know. And what is going to be their reaction? How are they gonna react to this push coming through?
I think they have to... Well, I mean, Idiot Leitung's going to sit here. There's nothing he can do. If he comes off the rock, he dies to the Thunder and the Petro. He's just going to sit here and try to live as long as he can.
Theory, meanwhile, is buying them so much time, delaying them in B, and they are forcing back farm slays slowly but steadily. I guess the Moskva is trading... Yeah. Well, Moskva does out-trade... Oh, never mind. Moskva's gotten chunked pretty hard. But if they do get an open water fight, the Moskva should out-trade the Petro eventually.
Yeah, Medzuko has a lot of broadside on Goat Wizard here. This could be bad.
Oh, yep, I just saw that. He keeps getting chunked. I'm surprised he's giving so much broadside to Medzuka though, because Moskva Citadel is gigantic and Petrol Pen is amazing, and that's not a nice combo. Here's the push. They're going for it. That's what I thought. They're gonna send the Republic out first, because he won't be able. They won't Citadel him as easily, and then the Salem will come out right behind him. I'm pretty sure. That's an interesting move.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. I mean, I'm kind of worried for. I'm really, really worried for Smile here. I don't think this push is gonna end well.
I don't know. Kremlin chimes in instantly. Republic fulfills his role of taking the first hit, but what's the follow-up now? Are they waiting for the next smoke? They are waiting for the next smoke, but this close to the Petro?
Yeah, it's in Hydra range.
Right? Does he have Hydra? No, he does not.
Not on anymore.
Not on anymore. They do get the Salem spotted. I think he just popped it, or... Oh, the Smurs is losing a lot of health here, but the Smurs... Is he just gonna delete the Petra?
I don't think this is going to hit him with his torps, is he? He doesn't have an angle. Or he might hit one on the start.
He might hit one, but the Petra is going to be forced to accelerate. And he's going to do it. He's going to eat one anyway? No, it clips the island. It clips the island. So the Petra... The Submerged is very much... Kind of... He's committing very hard to get this kill. He's down to 5,000 health. He does go dark. Are these torps going to clip the island as well? They are, and there's a huge gap. Oh, they probably checked this. They probably checked this. They know there's some sort of island there that's protecting him. That's why he's not moving, even though the Smurfs pushed like that. There's a bit of hitbox there that isn't really visible, and I think that hitbox just trolled Smile Smurfs. He's down to 2,000 health.
But I mean, the problem is he's sitting like what within radar range still. So as soon as Idion Leighton has his Ikeon Leighton. Has his radar, he'll pop and just kill him.
Oh, that back turret chunking VCG Rider for 6k. There's the follow-up.
No, like I was saying, this push is so hard. I feel like that cost them so much. I don't know if it's going to be worth it in the end.
I mean, they will kill the Petra. They will kill the Petra, but ultimately at what cost? Their Submerse is almost dead. The Republic has 24,000 health remaining. They're only now getting the A control.
Yeah. They basically just traded almost like 80k HP between the Summers and the Republic for 50k HP on that one Petra.
Very Smile, though, still doing a good job delaying this. They do cap C in the meanwhile, and they are contesting B, so ultimately, this is right now a TWA win condition.
Yeah, I mean, Smile has to work out... Again, it's the same kind of situation with the last game, where they have a ton of ships just bottled up in one corner, and they can't really do anything with them for a long time.
Kinemon has found an angle where he can shoot the Kleber from, so now they're just harassing him. They're finally getting A. Petra turns around, Kremlin turns around, they're just kiting away. TWA knows that they cannot hold A, but man, Ikeon Leighton's, he sold his skin for a steep price, and it might have been a poisoned apple, honestly.
Yeah. I think Fairy is dead here. The Borgone is coming up right behind him.
Oh, AP? AP doesn't care about your saturation mechanic. He does drop torps, though. How close is Angelstone? He's well within torpedo range. 6 km away, but I think he can just stop to juke it, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
More AP, and he's dead. Hey, that Borgonia just picks up the DD. Can they get any follow-up on him? The Thunder, potentially, if you can get a shot before it gets into cover, but I don't think so. Do they have vision of him? They have so far, but they won't have it for long.
Yeah, this is I mean, again, it's like the same issue. Smile has all their stuff, all their eggs in one basket, and like they need to figure out how to get them out of there without losing any.
Yeah, and TWA is kind of just kiting away from that basket.
Yeah, no, they're playing this really well. Once Smile commits a ton of ships up there, TWA is like, nah, okay, we're not gonna fight it. We're just gonna take the rest of the map.
Yeah,
they gave us for free.
I really like the approach. Like you don't fight where the enemy is strongest. You fight where he's weakest. And TWA has really taken that tactic as their own, and it's really working against Smile. They're not getting the fights that they're hoping for on their strong flanks. TWA just goes through the weaker flank instead and just takes full map control.
Yeah. That being said, I think Smile's position still could be strong once these ships get into action, except it's going to be like one of those late game all or nothing pushes.
I think Angelstone is actually in trouble here. He's in cover from the Thunder and so forth, but I don't know. Doubt they will get the kill, but he's very squishy. That's really the problem of the Borgonia. It's a squishy ship, and it doesn't do very well against an angled Petra. He's shooting AP surprisingly. I would expect to see HE at this point.
Yeah, I mean, once the Thunderer gets around, Angelstone is dead. They probably are going to go for Angelstone here, try to get him killed, either by a farm in the Petro with the Crossfire, or by DNO Gaming and John with the HE. And then after that, they have to wait until the rest of their ships push Sneaky Snake and Darthan off, so they can get a Crossfire.
They forced the Submerged to smoke again? Forcing those smokes out of Smile is so good, because it's just delaying them and slowing them down, and TWA, right now, they have 2 caps, they're 4 minutes away from winning. The more they can slow down this blob of ships, the better. I think the problem is the Republic is so low, so they're just forced to smoke him up and hide him in the smoke every now and then, otherwise he will die.
Well, I mean, he can't even shoot when he's in the smoke right now. Every time he shoots, he just gets spotted immediately. They do a little more damage to him. And the Sombras can't chase to spot these ships because if he gets radar one more time, he's dead.
I think they're blind firing the Republic as well, and the Republic is straight up just reversing.
Yikes. He's not having a fun time. Again, that, like, losing so much HP on that push really cost him. Now he can't push like a battleship.
Oh, Submerged Torps? Are they gonna catch the Petro? They might catch him with 1. No, he dodges it, swings the booty around. The advantage of already being angled away from the torpedoes. Angelstone is under a lot of pressure, as suspected. Once the Thunderer gets around, he's going to be under tremendous HE pressure, especially because he doesn't have a whole lot of health pool to tank with. But if they can force back Farm Slayer enough, then Angelstone can reverse behind the island. You just need to get rid of Farm Slayer first.
I mean, it's going to be hard for them to get rid of him. He is very, very far away from everything, basically. The only people that have shots are Kinemon and maybe Elegant.
2 minutes 50 to go. Smile needs something.
What do you think Smile can throw on to B here? They need to make a YOLO play. A ship has to sit on B, but TWA has so many angles on it, any ship that goes on will die.
The problem is they don't really have any tanky BVs. I mean, the Republic was their tankiest one, but he's just being harassed all the time, and he's got no health to go anywhere. He's too far away. So they need to push in a Petro or the Thunder, and I think Medusko might be their only option, but as long as Angelstone sits here, anything they try to push in has to go past him.
Yeah. I mean, this is the downside of having 0 HEDPM on your comp. Like, you can't burn down these ships when you need them to burn stuff down.
Right? DNO Gaming must have been trading with... I mean, he's not taking a whole lot of damage. This is the Petro advantage. He's not taking a whole lot of damage. But he's not doing a whole lot to Angelstone either. And doubtful he will kill Angelstone in the next 2 minutes. The Thunder might help out. And if they can get some of this firepower to assist, yes, maybe. But it's still taking them too long.
Yeah. And they need... Smile needs to start their... They need to figure out what their YOLO is. They need to do something. It's just not going anywhere so far. Oh, Angelstone is... He just got hit by Farm, so Farm just chunked him in the back. And he's down to 7k now.
Oh, he reversed too far. He's gonna go down then. Killing Angelstone will actually give them an opening, because as soon as they kill Angelstone, Medusko can just straight up push into B, which will buy them significantly more time. And that might open up a potential crossfire and a win condition for them. So Angelstone dying is very valuable for Smile right now. They really need this kill, and TWA, I don't really see any way they can keep him alive.
Yeah, there we go. The problem is, I'm pretty sure TWA wins on 1 cap here. They don't need to hold B anymore. They could just hold C and then win.
Summers, did he get spotted? He got spotted. They're gonna pick up Summers. He got too close to that Petro radar, and the stealth radar punished him. Blindfire comes in. He's down to 62 health. Do they still have vision? They do not, but it's Blindfire coming in. And it hits him! The Sneaky Snake with the Blindfire picks up the Summers. And oh, now they're in trouble. 1 minute to go. Medusko and the DNO Gaming are pushing up. They are trying to get that cap. They're trying to crossfire Blood Legend. If they can pick up Blood Legend, that will give them a lot more time. But even with 1 cap, TWA can win this game extremely quickly. Oh, they're just reversing away. TWA knows this is in their bag as long as they don't lose any more ships. Darthening is just full speed accelerating away. Sneaky Snake is slowing down a bit because he knows he's providing the crossfire right now.
Yeah, this is I mean, this looks like a wrap. I don't really see what Smile can do here. They'd have to step onto C and B at the same time in order to have a chance to hold this game.
It's 22 seconds. Stepping onto B is going to give it, what, 40? Yeah, they're up to 40 now. 40 seconds to work with. But now what? Where did they pick up a kill in 40 seconds? Blood Legends would be the optimal one, but he's just stopped shooting and he's kiting away. Sneaky Snake, potentially. Darthening, potentially. But Darthening is probably also going to just stop shooting and run. I think that's exactly what he's going to do. I haven't seen him shoot in a while. No, he goes dark. They all go dark. I'm looking at it from... Oh, no, I'm looking at it from Smile's vision, and not a single ship from TWA is opening fire. The Sneaky Snake gets briefly spotted by Zidrin by the looks of it, but 49,000 health to go through in 2 seconds. Unlikely on a Petro especially. TWA once again show that Smile's tactics just don't work against them. They don't make the mistakes that Smile can exploit. They don't play into Smile's strong side. They do exactly what they should be doing. They avoid the strong side and they just push through the rest of the map, and then they keep kiting them and kiting them and kiting them. And this has always been the downside of smoke comps. If you just kite away, well, they are very slow, they are very stationary, and TWA just executed a masterclass of countering the CIS first place. That was absolutely fantastic, and we have an EU team in the grand final. Let's send it off to the studio.
Congratulations to TWA for winning this one. Very well played. We'll bring our guests in to talk about this very decisive win by TWA. 2-0ing Smile out of this tournament. Wow.
I am very impressed with performance of TWA today. And from what we have seen, me and Stats have already been talking about, Lair, I believe, was the team that pushed enough out. Seemed like, I don't know, better? They seemed a lot more dangerous and fearsome team. So I expected the Smile to be even crazier. And Ban CV was just so good at slowing the pushes down in both games and made Smile kind of look just like one-dimensional, which was a bit weird. It was a 3v6 and a 4v6 2 times in a row. Extremely good trades for Ban CV. And before we continue, it was a disconnect in the first game. I asked them in the training room, that Nevsky that sailed out, that was unfortunately a disconnect for them, but I don't think it would have made any difference, as we've seen in the second game. Very, very awesome game.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun to watch. But by about the middle mark of the match, by about 10 minutes in, I told Zath, I was like, Zath, I don't know how Smile's going to get back into this game. You know, they had successfully executed that kind of push all the way to the corner of the map, and then they got that position, and then it just felt like they didn't do anything with it. They kind of got up there, and then the forces that they could have kept shooting at had already pulled back, and then they left 2 cruisers and a battleship and a destroyer in that corner. Almost half the team just kind of, here we are, you know?
I think the big problem, and I commented on this map, you typically want to take that island and B2 at all costs. And the problem is that the cost is simply too high for Smile, right? Their destroyer, Admiral, left at like 2,800 HP or something. So guess what? Now he can't really push anymore, right? He can't do what they wanted him to do. He later dies doing what they wanted him to do, right? Which is to push into the Petros, spot the Petros, but don't get radared and take too much damage. That's what happened the first time around, and now he can't do it again. Meanwhile, that push around the corner, that push, when Smile made that push, I had no idea what was going on. You commented on it too, because when they took Admiral and they put Admiral out there with the smoke, he's getting pounded. And then you've got, I think it was WGC Rider in the Republic. And I'm thinking, all right, he's just going to come around, he's going to smash this Petro right in the butt. And he didn't do that. He turned away. Yeah. I think he was afraid of the Kremlin salvo coming out broadside, but that's something you have to take it, right? You have to take that hit. You know you're going to take it, but you're going to trade the life of a cruiser in the process of doing so. That's the job of a battleship. And it felt like they were just a little too passive.
I was saying to Flambass, I'm honestly kind of sad with the way that we're using Republic in both those matches, because it's one of my favorite ships. And like you just said, like, it's got that French-spaced armor. It's okay. It's going to get whacked by the Petro probably once or twice, but it's going to nuke it if it can use both of its guns. But why would you turn like that? It just makes no sense. And meanwhile, the destroyer's radared and being shot at, and it just...
It sounded like you can hear somebody in the background, while he's moving forward, saying "abort, abort, abort, mission abort." Because
I was gonna.
That's what I expected, right? He would just like they deployed so many resources to get to that island, and it was clear what they're going to do. And I was happy to see they're not pushing the DD around against the Petro, but they're using the battleship to take the beating, to keep the cruiser's HP and the DD alive. Then suddenly the Republic turns away, still eating damage, obviously, because he's still going to be there, spotted. And then the DD is suddenly going around and then not even really getting the torpedo hits. It was really surprising to see that.
But
it was like
wind time forwards like 5 minutes, literally like 5 minutes later, that blob is basically still in the same place.
Exactly.
And the TWA ships have just done what they did in the last match. They've just drifted away a little bit in kiting positions, lovely angling from all of those players. And you're looking at the health pools 5 minutes later, and basically Bouncy V are on pretty much the same health pool they started on. And Smile are in tatters.
What happened to Smile is, I believe they thought that they were going to get that position in the upper right corner for free, and they thought they were going to get with full HP ships there. You would be crazy to try and stop that push. TWA is crazy enough to try and stop that push. They've done it successfully in the first game, and now they had actually a ship extra, so they used that ship extra to throw them right into the jaws. And we were just thinking and talking to ourselves, okay, this ship is dead. The second that order came that he's going to go behind the island, the ship is living on borrowed time. How good of a trade can he do? Holy cow, did he trade well. He got the DD down to 2,000 HP, which means for the rest of the game, Sommers cannot afford to be radared. First time he was spotted, he was dead 5 minutes later, I think. And on top of all of that, they dropped Republique to like 20,000 damage. That was a golden trade. And now you have this push that was supposed to win that for free, stuck in the corner of the map, miles away from any objective, and all the ships from Band CV are successfully extracted with 4/5 of their HP. It was just, what are you going to do now? You're 5 minutes away from the middle of the map if you just sail full speed, and you got no strategical objective.
One of the things
it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of the things that sometimes isn't appreciated in these diagonal spawn maps, you see it on Trap and Tiers, CZA, the extreme corners of a diagonal map are actually, I mean, if you draw a line through there, that line, of course, the hypotenuse of the triangle is longer than if those caps were across the center or up top to bottom or something. And so it takes more time even once you shove teams to the corner of the map to get back to where a position of relevance again, potentially, because they just got farther to go. The shells have farther to travel. So if you're going to get up there, great, make your play, but you got to keep moving. You got to get in there, make your play, and get out, because the play in that corner of the map is now over. The action, you need to be somewhere else because the focus is shifted already.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think this
there's
is
one other.
Flambass pointed out something really interesting, which is that he mentioned like one-dimensional, so Smile feel one-dimensional, and I think what that is that Smile have the plan. They're like, right, the plan is we're going to blob push that corner, and we saw it in the last matches, in the previous match as well. And so they're like, right, execute the plan. And meanwhile, it just feels like the other half of their team are just sort of floating around, just biding time.
Exactly.
Whereas Band CV have the response to that plan, but they're also executing their own plan at the same time down the other end of the map.
Yeah, you saw that.
It's that duality of respond and act that Smile just don't have.
You saw that with Kenny Mod's push through B as he came through B.
Of steel on that.
Yes, that was beautiful. It was beautiful to watch. And you could tell, like, that was a 100% calculated move. He knew he was going to get slapped around. He was banking on his armor, his speed, his low profile, his low amount of freeboard to keep him in the game. He was trading his health for a better position, and it worked to perfection.
Yeah, they did that twice with pushes through the middle. Both Angel Stone and Kitty Mod had some really questionable, high-risk, high-reward pushes, and they both done it very, very easily.
Yeah.
Probably, potentially, at least half credit due to the two Petros in the Russian team doing nothing. They were just sitting in the other corner of the map, just like Stats said, and what are we doing? You know, the team on the other side of the map is fighting. What's our job?
That's what I had commented to Raptor about, was when Angel Stone had tucked into that island towards the end and he's, getting long-range farmed. First of all, John Sheridan didn't have an angle on him. That was the Thunderer. Didn't have an angle on him for a very long time, or anybody for that matter. So his guns were out of the game for a long part. When they finally were in the game, I noticed that Mizuko in the Petro had turned around, and I'm thinking, what is he going to do? And right around just a little bit after that, Raptor says, here we're going to see the characteristic Smile, like just go, just balls to the wall push, right? And I'm thinking, I'm expecting Mizuko to come around the backside of the island and then just get right behind Angel Stone and just blap him on the right side while his guns are painting left or pointed left, and it never happened. Mizuko just kind of stopped and hung out, and I'm like, what are you doing? You know, like I felt that was their chance to really take that battleship off the board and give the group up north a little bit more time to get back into this. And for whatever reason, they just simply didn't take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Surprising to see. That's for me. That's always the most surprising thing, to see a team of that quality not being able to respond to the change of situation on the battlefield. Because I would have expected Smile to realize that A is not working out as intended.
This is not working. Yeah,
this is not working. We have to kind of come up with a plan B, and this is their strategy, right? They know also how to usually how to switch away from this and switch the attention to a different area. But it never felt like they can really punish TWA for the moves they've been making. So. Well, very well played by TWA. I unfortunately I had to guess it right, but they seem to be in very good shape today. We don't see
dang it!
That's the only thing I'm sad about.
Unless it comes up in, because they haven't done the picks for this next match yet.
That's
so
true.
We might get it.
Yes,
I do remember talking to a bunch of highly competitive players that been playing way after I basically stopped playing competitive, and a lot of the players are not huge fans of the international finals because we're used to one meta. We know how this works, and now you're throwing us under the bus against a completely different meta, against a team we've never seen and never played against, totally different tactics. It's not very representative. And I'm thinking to myself, yes, okay, but then who can adapt better? That is the really important part in competitive. Who can adapt better in those kind of situations? And Band CV has just performed outstandingly against Smile, and Smile just completely failed to kind of adapt. They tried the same strategy twice. It failed both times. Yeah. GG, well played to Band CV.
Yes. By the way, I have the survey results that we had for the prediction campaign. So, and apparently for TWA/BandCV, first place, 55% of players thought TWA is going to win the international finals. 23% think they're going to be in the second place, and another 21% think they're going to be on the third place. For Smile, 35% actually thought they're going to be winning this. Then we have 30% for second place and 34% for third place. And Lair, only 15% thought they're going to be winning, and for War, 17%. And here's the interesting fact. For the other semifinals, War actually kicked out Lair. So we're going to be seeing TWA play against War, and the two CIS teams that have been qualified in the semifinals are not going to be moving on to the finals. So, well played to both of these teams.
It's a bit shocking, honestly. The performance we've seen from the second and third Russian team at the beginning of these internationals was outstanding. It was like, oh my God, we're going to get rolled over. And then today, not so much.
Yep.
Agreed.
So what do we expect now from TWA versus War? Because War has been playing in the EU King of the Sea, in King of the Sea 10, and now is actually playing for SEA again, their actual home server. Do you expect this to be a rather, let's say, European meta-focused match? Or are they going to pick some of the things they might have seen in the last few days?
That's what I expect. I expect to see a little more traditional kind of European style game. We saw a little bit out of them when they played against 07, right? We watched the 07 match yesterday. We saw some of that. I think you're going to continue to see that unless they make a conscious decision to change the tactics they showed us yesterday, which they could do. I think you're going to see very similar kind of game.
The only problem there is they're going to be playing Band CV's game then, because that's where Band CV is the best.
I completely agree.
Because we have seen this when it comes to the EU meta, these guys are on top of their game. You try to play their game, you get smashed. You need something, you need to improvise something. Smile tried, failed. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking that if they manage to beat Smile like that, then they can do the same for War. But I think War is like a 50-50. They are a bit of the EU meta, but they have a bit of their own, which can prove to be very valuable. Like an ace up their sleeves. That's what I'm expecting out of War, to see something out of the ordinary that could give them the edge, which is exactly what they're going to need against Band CV. So I'm thinking we're going to have some pretty good game.
Well, Vor does really good work with their destroyers, right? We saw that with the 07 stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Vor take a do their clever craziness with escorting maybe a small end or something like that, and just completely destroying whatever destroyer they run into on TWA side. I think it's going to be a very competitive, exciting series. I can't wait to get to it. It's gonna be fun.
Was it 4 yesterday that we saw with the Marceau pair?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. That was pretty clever. I think if you're going to beat a very technically competent team like BanCV, you need to bring something surprising, and they could do that with map choice. They could try and force BanCV to play on a map that they're not comfortable with. Of course, that means you need to play on a map that you're maybe not comfortable with either. But they could choose Shatter. We might see that.
I was gonna say, you want to throw TW after a game? Let's just ban North right out of the K. Right, every time we see them on North, let's just ban North and make them play a map they don't like.
True. I bet that genuinely can work. I mean, these teams do practice, but they're probably going to practice some maps more than others.
Fair.
And they're going to know the positions on those maps more than others. So if you can force them out of the comfort zone.
Do you think that time zone is going to be a factor here? Because this is going to be in EU prime time for TWA, right? Yeah. There's basically Central European team, while VOR is basically playing, I think, around midnight. So this is almost like Monday morning already for them. So do you think how much of an impact does that have for like a competitive player?
Depends how they spend their days, to be honest. I think it's more individual than overall. Like if you got up, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, and you spend the entire day working and doing some stuff, not necessarily like work, but doing whatever, and you spend the whole day in front of the PC, your eyes are tired, your brain's tired, you're already kind of tired, it could definitely, in fact, influence the outcome. But if they were kind of saving themselves a bit, shouldn't be too big of a deal. But it's definitely an advantage to EU team.
Yeah, I mean, if they're made up of night owl type of players, I don't think that starting at midnight or 1 a.m. is going to be that big of a difference. If it was a 4 a.m. start, I could definitely see that argument.
My day starts at midnight, so
it's not like they're playing like a whole tournament day, because if you've got like a whole 8-hour tournament session, like day one, for example, then time zone's really going to matter, because that's very, very tiring, even if you do it in your like peak time. But in a couple of matches, you can adjust to that, and you can like plan your sleep and stuff around it. But
yeah, the good thing is it's going to be a best of 3. We're not going to be playing a best of 5, because we didn't want to put this on teams to play at very, very odd hours and then have a best of 5 as we used to for most of the final matches that we have in King of the Sea.
So here's a question for you then: do you think that bringing the four regions together, but having to shorten the schedule in order to do that, is better than having 2 regions versus 2 regions separately, but having a longer schedule? Flambass and I were talking about this earlier. What do you think?
If you're asking me directly, so for me it's personally. So me personally, not talking for wargaming.
Unofficial position.
It depends on the players. I would always love to have rather best of 5s than best of 3s, because the more games you have, the more clear picture you get from the teams and who's actually the better team. Because you might have 2 matches where one team is just taking a bit more time to adjust to whatever they're seeing, especially in international clash where the meta might be significantly different. So I personally prefer the best of 5s. The best sets of matches that I've seen were best of 5s compared to best of 3s. But you have to kind of make that compromise. But at the end of the day, I rather see all of the regions clash with each other, because this has been an absolutely amazing and entertaining tournament yesterday to see all of these, like, weird in a sense. For like me, like I mostly watch EU content or some NA content just because of the time zone, where I live at. I see that content, that's what I'm used to. And seeing the things that happened yesterday just amazed me. It's like, this is creative, this is cool, it appears to be working. They managed to surprise teams that are the best of the best on their own region. This is what I love to see. And if you have games like EU versus CIS or EU versus NA, then yes, that's cool too, but it doesn't have that same feeling. So I would still love to go for full international and find a way to make time zones less hurtful for people.
So I have a suggestion. Fly the Asian teams to Europe so we can have a proper best of 5 battle for third and all that crap, please?
Fantastic. Can you start working on an antidote for COVID? So we can do this for King of C12?
Yeah, next time.
Yeah.
Clearly not this time.
So I have a bit of a different opinion on this, maybe as well, a differing opinion. So first of all, you point out that we have less time, but that's actually not factually true, right? Because we had essentially, I mean, at least for the official broadcast, right, we've done 4 full days of King of the Sea broadcasting, whereas we usually just do 2. Because by moving the international to a format where we have all 4 regions, not just do we bring all 4 regions together, which I think is a fantastic thing, even if the days are a bit shorter, we also have a situation where we can't really do this in one day after the grand finals. So it meant that we overall adjusted the tournament format a bit, and that we were able to, broadcast a day with starting with the best of 16. A round of 16, which I thought was really cool because it means that we get to showcase more of the regional teams and we have a bit more time to spend with them. So I think overall we have a really tournament content packed time for King of the Sea with this new formal schedule. And if viewers like it, so let us know, guys, in chat what you think. Then I think this is definitely something I want to keep doing going forward.
Yeah,
I really like
it. Felt better paced. Yeah, it's nicer to follow.
But what do you guys think?
I like the being able to bring all the teams together, right? I mean, and this was for those of you that don't know, I was an admin on the King of the Sea organizers side here on NA for a couple of years. We continually talked about the idea of trying to get all 4 regions together for an event. But the time zones just absolutely continually work against you because you literally, like we were talking about earlier, you got Asia guys playing in the middle of the night and you got West Coast American guys waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to play. And it's just the guys in the middle, the EU and the Russia guys, it kind of works for them. It's the guys on the extreme ends that get hosed in some fashion. And so it's tough to organize. I'm excited that you guys were able to find a format that it kind of pulled together and worked. And now that I realize not every team is going to be happy. There's still going to be some griping about it, but I hope we're able to continue it because like Chrysantos, I really enjoy seeing all the different metas, seeing all the different regions come together, play a bracket thing, let them see what, get that little taste of what life is like in competitive on the other servers. And it's a lot of fun from our perspective to see that clash occur and showcase it to everybody.
Yeah, I remember a few years ago, I mentioned because you always had this problem, which server is the better, and then you would face 2 servers together, but you then leave 2 servers out of the box, and you're like, yeah, but we would still beat you if we would play against you, blah blah blah. And I was always thinking, if we're already going to do international finals, why don't we just bring all the servers together to see really who's going to come on top? And then the problem was kind of obvious. We can't. It's going to be impossible to mix all the players. So I'm really happy that this actually finally got to be shown, that we actually finally put all the servers together. I just wish we could actually see a couple of extra best-offs today,
it would be nice, but there's no way. I don't know exactly where Vor's from, but I think it's either midnight or 1 a.m. in the morning for them right now.
Understandable.
So there's no way. But I also really like this format, and props to the organizers for thinking of like a good way of organizing this from that it makes sense from a tournament perspective as well. And I also have to say I much prefer this variant where we have a team that wins in the end rather than saying hey, EU is better or something. I like this more because it's an individual team performance rather than a collective one.
Also, thank you to the teams as well, because although the CIS and EU teams are playing at kind of nice time, as Raptor said, the periphery, they're playing at kind of awkward times. So thank you to those teams especially, because you got up early or stayed up late to play. So thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I think Vor is a Chinese clan, but I'm not entirely 100% sure. But I think so.
I will say, I enjoy this format as well. I'm glad that we've got all 4 servers together. When Raptor told me about that at the start of the season, I got really excited. And it was interesting yesterday when 07 got knocked out. There were some comments in our clan saying, "Are Raptor and Saf going to cast, the next day because there's no NA teams?" And it's like, damn right we are. We're not here just to to cover the NA teams. We're here to cover the tournament. Yes. And for us, wherever that leads, you know what I mean? You just that's how it goes. And I think it's really great to be able to see all the different metas, the different comps, the different plays, the different ways of thinking. It really makes this something special and something that's very unique. So I'd love to see this kind of thing continue and grow and expand. And we were talking at the top of our stream. I had asked Raptor. I said, how many teams have been playing, in King of the Sea? And what was it, like over 300? Just under 400?
Yes. 386 teams across all 4 regions, and when you add that up, 12 players on a roster, it's almost 5,000 players.
That's huge.
Okay, I'm getting live information here, by the way, on the picks. The team captains have just completed them. So game 1 is going to be on North, TWA's pick, or BanCV's pick. What a surprise!
What a surprise!
Well, neither of the teams banded.
Of course they did.
4 picked South Spawn for this one. Second game is going to be on a Land of Fire, with TWA picking the Alpha Spawn, and deciding is going to be Crash Zone Alpha.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Which,
yes.
of course,
No shatters.
That's
so sad. Womp womp.
Sadness.
All right.
That should be a really good set of matches.
Okay, and I think that means I should give Flamu a ping.
There are no
because the room should be up on Phasey.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah,
no
we're
players
already
in
in.
the room just yet.
Yeah. And it's currently set to 2 brothers, which I would love to see.
Oh my god, please make 2 brothers the map in King of the Sea. We need this.
2 brothers epicenter. Let's go.
It used to be, actually. Chrysanthus might actually remember this, like 4 or 5 years
Yes,
ago in
yes,
Omni.
I
We were
remember.
playing Tier 8, 12v12 trainings against other clans.
I remember the ring around the rosies.
Oh, yeah.
Good old
I
times.
wish we would see this map.
Yeah. So, but also, chat. Let us know what you think about this format. Do you prefer the 2 servers clashing with each other, or the full international clash of this King of the Sea? We always try to, change things up and see what works best, because it's like a living, breathing thing, and we like to make this bigger with each single iteration of the tournament. And I think we've been doing a good job so far, and everybody seems to be enjoying it. Oh, yeah. So keep in mind, chat, Twitch drops are still working. If you received your Twitch drop for King of the Sea already this weekend, then you won't get another one. It's 1 container for this weekend. And that means if you did all of the missions and you got all of your King of the Sea 10 and 11 Twitch drops, you should be done with the full collection and have your tier 7 premium container. But if you didn't manage to get all of the containers, don't worry, there will be more chances in the future with upcoming King of the Sea tournaments. I see always the questions like, oh, when is the next King of the Sea happening? We don't know yet. We need to align this with the organizers. We need to take a look at our calendar for clan events like clan seasons, because we don't want to, overlap with clan seasons wherever we can. So it's always a bit of a, challenge for us to find a decent time slot for King of the Sea. But usually we have 2 King of the Sea tournaments per year. For most of the times we had it in spring and in autumn. So that's roughly the time you can be looking forward to this, maybe March, April. And yeah, the prediction campaigns have been closed, but we will still ask you, who do you think is going to win the first match? Because at least from the predictions, we've seen TWA being heavily favored by you guys in terms of winning. I cannot blame you for that, because they have been playing a very, very decent World of Warships in the last few days that you have been seeing on the EU regional finals and the international stage so far. But War has been playing very decently too, so we'll have to see. Mr. Conway, do we know how far the teams are already?
They have not yet joined the training room, so I think the answer is not yet very far.
Not yet, okay.
Look, we asked them if they want to move it ahead a little bit to minimize the break, and obviously because our Asian friends are playing very, very, very late. But they said both teams said they need a few minutes to discuss tactics and do something, right? I mean, obviously this is a really interesting matchup because it's completely different metas. They haven't played each other in a long, long time, I think, if at all. So. I'm sure there was some quick googling and research to do. It was like, oh god, what's their lineups, and
I'm sure that a team like TWA has done their homework on a team like War. They've played them before. I'm sure they checked what kind of weird or different things they have been deploying in King of the Sea so far.
But I'm sure they're also using this time to potentially go through the VOD and watch the semis against Lair and see how they played today. What can they expect, and make some last-minute adjustments. Picks and bans, ships. Yeah, it takes a bit of time.
Yes. But I mean, both of these teams are really experienced, and TWA has such a huge amount of long-standing tournament players. They've probably seen most of the things already. Ooh. So, what is your guess, guys? Who's going to take the first map?
Is that a question?
That is a question.
I was gonna say,
that you have to answer, Seth. Seth, you have to answer.
We've seen TW play North so many times. They've adapted their strategy to that of other teams, and they obviously have their own game plan. I'm going to pick them on this map. Like they just seem to have a very well-oiled machine in terms of how they approach North, how they execute it. And so far, we haven't seen any of these other teams that have been able to break in against it.
I think, although this is a map which BanCV are very, very strong on, we've seen them on this map many, many times. That double destroyer play that Zath mentioned earlier, we haven't really seen them deal with anything like that. And
somebody get this man out of here right now.
Okay. But Flambass. But one of the things that we know that BanCV do really well is respond to things. They're very good at flexing with things and dealing with things. So I don't think it's going to cause them too much trouble. But if that double destroyer, assuming they do this, if Four's double destroyer tactic manages to take down a cruiser, which is a linchpin of BanCV's positioning, that could cause them some issues. So we're going to be watching that quite carefully. But I would put my money still on BanCV.
BanCV as well.
BanCV as well. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go against the popular opinion here because I still think that TWA has been very convincing, but War might just surprise them with something crazy. So I'll just give the first match to them. Mr. Conway.
Conway put you up to this, didn't he?
Look, I don't know. I'm off today, right? Because I already said TWA is going to lose game 1, and they didn't. They just won 2-0. But Four have played some fantastic games. I'm gonna give game 1 on North to Four, but only because it's TWA's pick. And
I just have it in my gut feeling that this is gonna be a super crazy match. And then I think War might just swing it around in some cool fashion. So that's at least my hope for this match. And we'll be dropping a little poll in chat where you can just vote on who you think is going to win this. So do you think that War is going to adapt in any way to what they've seen from the Russian teams with like an A/B heavy push, or are they going to rely on rather heavier destroyer plays?
We haven't seen a lot of TWA relying on destroyer plays.
No, but War has been more relying on destroyers.
Oh, okay.
But we've seen, for example, Lair use a completely different setup to crush the rather slow approach from EU teams on North. So I'm just wondering if a team like War might just say, you know what? This looks very interesting. We might just try the same thing and see whether we can break TWA with this. Because we've seen this already with, I don't know, just taking an example from the EU regional stage that we had, where up until Cheeky Breeky brought like a very Petropavlov strong setup, most of the teams were relying on different setups with very mixed cruiser setups. And suddenly then in the semifinals and finals, we suddenly saw this Petropavlov's, the number just increasing with teams trying like, okay, how many can we bring without breaking anything? So I'm just curious to see whether, War might just say, you know what, we'll take that one out of the Lair's textbook and see whether we can apply it here.
Well, if Vor's been doing their homework, they know that TWA is going to go 9-10 with 3 ships. So the question becomes, of course, how do you react to that? And, you're right. Maybe they might look at what Lair did and say, you know what, that's what we need to do. Push more west and mid and make that work before TWA gets into that position on the 9-10 line that they want to be in. The question is, how many assets do you leave behind to distract and entertain TWA in the process of, trying to do a delay action?
I think one of the things
I think 2 is too many.
Because of the layout of the islands, if you act quickly, you can isolate certain groups, and it takes them a little while to sort of get back into the fight. And so, yeah, I think that's called a potential tactic, which is to waste the time basically of those 3 ships that go on the 8-9 line. But you better be ready when they come out, because they will come out. You know. So
it's gonna be nasty if the C flank is pushing through to B.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Players are arriving.
Their players are mostly already here. We're just, I think, waiting for one more player, and then they need to ready up and go. I think they said in 5 minutes.
Yeah. It looks as though they're trying to stick to the original schedule. I think people just needed a bit of a break and a bit of a little bit of time to plot. But it looks as though we're going to be starting as scheduled, which is unusual, incredible, and a little bit annoying because I was hoping to start early.
Well, that happens. And chat, I hope you also paid attention to the spectator mode that we have been implementing with the last King of the Sea tournament. So you actually now get to see from one caster's perspective everything that's happening, and the casters can actually switch between the teams, so you can see who is spotted, who's not spotted, and this is why you sometimes see ships blinking in or blinking out when the caster is actually showing how it looks for each of the teams, which makes it much, much easier for you to follow it, and I think also more enjoyable tournament without having 2 casters trying to show you the 2 different point of views for each of the teams.
I mean, that worked for a long time.
Is he spotted? Yeah,
it worked for a long time, but the spectator mode is awesome. Don't get me wrong, but the traditional way, the old way, is what we had, so we made it work.
And
there was a bit of an intrigue in just seeing one team's perspective.
Agreed.
They don't know what
beauty-
the other team is doing, so neither do you, and you're casting that way. So,
yes.
But
yes.
it's also very good to see exactly what's happening.
So Flambass is telling us we should remove the spectator.
But
mode.
no,
absolutely.
We can let me write that feedback down. It goes on the feedback
with the
list.
spectator mode. We could do that if you wanted to do it, because one of you just presses 1, one of you presses 2, and then that's it for the rest of the match.
Well, what's interesting is we've seen casters that now that the spectator mode is a thing, we've seen caster teams that have opted to do that, to do it the old traditional way. And now that we have this mode, the viewers are like, "What are you doing? Why can't I see both teams anymore?" They've already adapted. They're so quick. They're like, "I want to see both teams." And yet for so long, you had people on both sides. You literally had to ask the other caster. I can't count the number of times I'd be like, "Zath, I haven't seen that destroyer in 5 minutes. Where is he?" And he'd be like, "Oh, well, he's over here." Yeah,
I really miss that when you'd say, "Zath, where's the Summers?" Or
watch B. Someone's about to blow up in B.
I don't miss that at all. I have to say, absolutely not. And you know what I even miss less is, you remember, like, we had bloody Hoshos, right? Having to line up the perfect torpedo strikes on themselves to get the free camera, and like. It was really bad. And now
they didn't get the flooding.
And for the international finals, the devs actually upped spectator slots to 40 temporarily, right? So we have 40 spectator cameras, like free cameraing around. It's fantastic. Love it.
Absolutely. And also you can I do this once a month. You can actually use this with if you're a streamer with viewers, if you're in a clan with your friends, you can go into the training room and you can do that yourself and run fun little events and stuff. It's great. I love it. It's really useful.
But I mean, I was telling Zath the other day, I sat down and actually went back and figured out how many games of King of the Sea. He and I have done over 200 games of King of the Sea together. And so there's always going to be that little nostalgia about, the old days, right? I don't miss having to kill myself in a carrier. That was a pain in the ass.
It's great to see how it progresses over time.
But somebody accidentally pushed the repair and stop the flood.
Yes.
When you got bad RNG and you didn't get the flooding.
My favorite thing that happened is once we moved from carriers nuking themselves to tier 1s and people missing the ram.
Yes, or the time that Zath trolled me by going in full reverse and I had to chase him down. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, or I think once somebody included a ramming flag and survived.
Yeah. Even better.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, good.
Watching the streamers troll each other doing stuff like that was part of the experience.
Gentlemen, it's go time. We have 30 seconds to go. Picks, Crescentos, game 1.
We already did this.
We already did this.
But it was
we
a long
did this.
time
Where
ago.
were you?
Okay, I said Vor.
Vor, Statsbloke,
Ban-CV.
Flambass.
Please, are you really asking me that question? Come on now.
Answer.
He said Vor.
No, bad CV, of course.
Okay, Ban CV. I'm going to give this one a 4. Zath?
Petropavlovsk. Oh, I'm sorry. TWA.
And Searaptor?
TWA for this one, I think.
Okay, good. So it looks as though there's a clear favorite here. But we'll see what the games ultimately do. They are attempting to start the game now. And they are loading into battle. So I'm gonna prepare to hand off to Flamu on my side. Please make closing remarks as you see fit.
So guys, you can still vote in chat who's going to win. Otherwise, we'll be handing over to our casters. We're going to bring you this match live and hopefully in a very entertaining way. So we will see you on the other side. I hope this match is going to be as enjoyable as we all think it's going to be. And for our guests, we'll see us in 20 minutes, I guess.
Yep.
Yes, best of luck to both teams. May the best team win. And just keep us entertained, guys. We trust you. Good luck.
All right. See you in a minute.
And we are live with the grand final between TWA, or BanCV. Honestly, I'm so used to seeing these people play under the TWA tag that I just keep calling them TWA. Taking on Vor, two very, very notable teams, very known in their own regions and honestly internationally quite famous as well. Deserving a grand finalist, and we already have the classic Vor setup with the triple DDs versus TWA's Petro Stalingrad comp. Who do you favor here?
Right now, I think it really depends. If Vor can pick up RNG Sama, then I think they win the game instantly. If they can't, then they lose. That's it. That's their entire win condition.
Oh, so you're putting the win condition on RNG Sama again?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, the other team's win condition, but no. Look at the way they're playing this. This is not what they did last time we casted them. This time they're sending all 3 DDs all the way up to A. So they're gonna try to wolfpack the Smolan down as he tries to get this contest. That's their entire plan here.
I mean, we did
Everything else
see,
on the map, they can't do anything.
Yeah, we did see 07 play against Vor, and they willingly traded their Småland against one of the Marceaus, which we considered a bit of a mistake, and it did end up being an 07 win afterwards. The question is, can RNG Sama stay alive? Because this is a terrifying wolfpack. They got the radar, and they got the massive DPM as well. So if he gets caught in that Småland radar, he will struggle to disengage.
Yeah. I think the other thing to note is that Vor is sending a Des Moines, Montana Goliath flank to counter the TWA, Petro, Ohio, and Des Moines flank that we've seen past every single time they played this map.
Indeed.
So
it looks like they did their research, I'd say. Especially the Goliath pick down this flank. Goat Wizard is spotted, AP is out from the Montana. He can lob those shells over the island. Fantastic dispersion, but Goat Wizard gets into cover before he can connect. And RNG Sama, I think he's smelling something is wrong here. He's actually playing quite far back. He's playing all the way back with the Petro here, not taking any unnecessary risks against this potential wolfpack, which is the correct choice.
I mean, I think he noticed something's up because by now, if they were playing the Kleber at sea, they would have been on the cap already. So he's like, oh, something's wrong here. And the Petro, look at him, he's angled away, he's ready to pop the radar, and he's like, where is he?
Alright, Twinkle Twinkle gets radared as he sits in A just briefly, honestly just touches the cap, baits out the radar, and disengages. This tells them where one of the DDs is, but was this just a bait? Because you note that the 2 other DDs were playing quite far back while the Kleber did this, so I think they just wanted to force out a radar. I think this was quite intentional.
That's pretty smart. I mean, now maybe RNG Sama says, oh, it's the Kleber, he's gonna try to go for the cap.
Yeah, look, they're cycling the Kleber back and cycling the Småland in, so if RNG Sama thinks, oh, it's just a Kleber there, I can maybe reverse and go spot him, he's actually gonna be reversing into the Småland instead of the Kleber. Oh my, is this a trap? Have they laid a trap for RNG Sama? And they got cross torps going in as well. There's the radar. Very early radar from Renegade. He's really trying to catch that Småland. But RNG Sama, he plays it so very, very safe. He started reversing very far back. Oh, the torps look nasty. The torps look really nasty. They're gonna run out though. They're gonna run out. Oh. Ooh, that would have been a rough start. The other flank, they're slowly moving towards the 90-10 line, as is standard really on map. Early game on this map, there rarely is other action except this A control game. Renegade does get radared and forced back, and this tells RNG Sama that there's at least 2 dailies here, and they have cycled 1. The Marceau is probably still undetected. However, if he notes the torpedoes, he might suspect that the Marceau is here as well. RNG Sama radared. It is a Petro radar though. Thunder HE is out though. But he's juking to dodge it, he sees it's coming, and he evades it quite niftily, so no real damage.
I think they've given up on the Wolfpack idea. They're just going to use the Marceau and the Kleber here. I mean, Marceau and Small Arms. Because the Kleber has left. He's gone. He's going probably C, I guess, from now.
Indeed. I actually like the fact that they abandon it because they realize they're not going to be catching RNG Sama like that. And now that he knows, there's really no point in trying the sneakiness anymore.
Yeah, that's really smart that they made that choice. We are seeing the TWA firepower advantage come in. Miyane is down to 60k HP 5 minutes into the game and getting farmed by the triple Petros and maybe the Stalin Thunder as well.
Indeed. Torps out on the small end, Renegade? Oh, Renegade might be catching one of the RNG Sama Torps. No, he finds a gap. There's a double gap there, and he manages to fit right in between the torpedoes. Quite fortunate because they cannot afford to lose health on these DDs because, well, they've already given up so much potential firepower to get them. Have you seen what Divarts is doing?
Oh, Divas! Is he screwed here?
I don't know. I think this is hella risky. He's full speeding though. He's full speeding. Angelstone won't get a crossfire. Do they have anyone else to crossfire? If the Ohio stops and reverses, Darthening. Is he going to stop and reverse?
All he has to do is park right here and kill the Stalingrad. He wins this so hard. This 1v1 is a total win for him.
Darthening is not... He's just pushing. So this leaves Yoshi 1 versus 1. And Yoshi realizes this is not a fight he can ever come out on top on. So he just parks behind the island, which is smart.
Do you think if Angelstone pushes through the gap, do you think that the Montana will be able to kill him before he kills Diva?
I don't know. I doubt the Angelstone would even take that risk, though. It seems like such a sketchy move.
Yeah. Oh, here comes Diva. This is so sketchy from Diva right here.
This is insane aggression, though. This is like really crazy aggression. Oh, there's the AP across the map. Des Moines chiming in, but they don't get the hits that they hope.
He's gonna go for the ram?
I think
that's what he's gonna go for, the ram. Yeah. Because he's dead otherwise.
What an absolutely mad move. Who does this? Seriously, who does this? The Thunder, though. The Thunder AP. What is Miyane shooting? Does he have his guns turned? Because he could potentially get really nice broadsides here. He's actually just straight up gonna go ram him down. That's ridiculous.
What?
What? I'm so... What the hell? He just did that.
That's like the clever YOLO that you see, except instead of the clever, it was just the Des Moines. He's like, okay, I guess I don't feel like playing anymore.
Right. Like, yeah, I got an early morning tomorrow. Let's just trade 1 for 1. Good luck, guys.
Jeez. All right. Well, that's the first kill for both teams, or first death, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, this means that there's not that Des Moines threat or Des Moines farming and resetting C, so. Now TWA just parks onto C and they get the 2 versus 1 to Montana while they get the objective. I don't see how this isn't an advantage for TWA.
Yeah, I mean they didn't even reset the Thunder. Like he didn't pop all of his consumables or something while he was going.
No, the Thunder kept B. He does this every time. Have you noted this? Angelstone just keeps B in the battleships all the time. It's kind of ridiculous, but it seems to work out really well.
I mean, when you have no vision in mid, like the only team that I think leaves vision in mid all the time are like the NA teams because they're always looking for that crossfire with the Montanas and stuff. But when you bring Thunder, I guess like neither team would. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why they don't have vision with 3DDs. I don't think that should have happened.
I assume there's the radar. The Thunder does have guaranteed HE loaded for this Marceau. What can they get on Kulashiku? 1 good hit. That was only 1 turret.
Yep. RNG Sama's here as well, so they're going to be able to force him off and keep him off for a while with this double radar.
Second shot. Another hit. Marceau down to 20k. I think the radar ran out, so it's just blind fire. But now RNG Sama will push up with the radar, and the Marceau is reversing into the camp, so he will absolutely be caught by it. He thought it was the only radar, but I don't think he realizes RNG Sama has rotated.
Yeah, if he was counting the shells, he might know, but I mean that's big brain, and I don't know how large his cranium is.
Meanwhile, Montana is in quite a bit of trouble here. It's just being farmed. This Des Moines behind the island is so nasty because they have no crossfire on the Sneaky Snake. So he's just sitting behind the island and just, well, farming his heart out. They don't even have vision of him, so this is filthy.
With the triple DD comp, you'd expect them to have a points lead, but TWA is actually just controlling all the caps with all their radars. Like,
right? The only cap they don't have is A, and that's because, well, they kind of just gave it up. They're once again just kiting away. We've seen this before from TWA. They kite away on this flank.
I mean, right now they are kiting away, but I think Vor doesn't really care too much. They've rotated almost all their assets to mid now to try to take it, but 3Ds are going to have to do a lot in order to somehow get this done. They have to kill. They literally have to kill RNG Sama, and then they can start taking caps.
Yeah, and the problem is the small one isn't here yet, so RNG Sama can straight up just spot them. Yeah, he's straight up just keeping vision of them.
Yeah.
And every time he's spotted, there's Thunder HE coming out, and ow, that's gonna hurt. That's really gonna start hurting. Oh, the Torps though on Goat Wizard. The Torps on Goat Wizard are nasty, and I think they're undetected. He's gonna catch 3 of them. Oh no, they run out again! Ooh, the downside of having that limited range on the torpedoes. Twinkle Twinkle still spotted, trying to get rid of RNG Sama. Yeah, he's just trying to get rid of RNG Sama. They're getting so impatient to kill this DD because he's just sabotaging them so hard.
I mean, like, what can they do? They don't have the firepower to kill all these ships. Like, normally you'd see teams like start pushing pressure. Yeah, start putting pressure on the Thunderer so that forces him away, and then they can take the cap. But like,
oh jeez! Oh, huge shit from Angelstone. He pushed so deep that he got radared. Twinkle Twinkle just got radared, and Angelstone blapped him for almost all his health. And the lower this Kleber gets, the less of a YOLO threat he is, because they can just kill him off before he does the YOLO.
Yeah. I mean, I really do not understand what.
They have full vision. Did they cycle? The Des Moines pushed in. The Sneaky Snake. He pushed straight through C and got his radar within range, and now they have full spotting on B. Oh no, Kleber goes down. Kulashiku is in trouble. The small one has to bail as well.
What do they do now? Where do they reposition?
They were in a full Des Moines radar. The Sneaky Snake reposition was so good. It just completely brutalized their pusher. And the thing is, now they bought so much time that if they try to push in, the Petro or Småland will probably have radar up again. They will never get B now. It's not going to happen.
Well, they have to reposition their stuff. There's no way. They have to know that they're never going to get B unless... Do they know that Des Moines is there? Did they spot him at all?
I mean, I don't know if they spotted him, but I think you'd assume when they're just radared forever. I think maybe that's why they didn't disengage. They thought it was Petro radar. And then only when it never ran out did they realize, oh god, oh no, we've made a huge mistake.
It looks like Myanmar is going to push into C here, but it's a Thunderer versus Ohio brawl. I really favor the Ohio there.
Right, but then again, we really favored the Ohio versus the Conqueror as well, and how did that turn out?
True. Very, very true. I mean, he doesn't have any support this time, though, so it really is a pure 1v1. There's no support for either battleship if they take this fight.
So what does War do? They are really struggling. The problem is they gave TWA, they had triple DDs, but they gave TWA cap control. And you can't give TWA cap control. Smile learned it the hard way. Getting control back from TWA is such a pain. It is so very, very difficult. Because once they get that control, they just dig in. And they're almost impossible to dislodge. And they're experiencing that now. There's no way they can get B.
Yeah. I mean, I think they need to make a play on C, and that's probably what they're going to try here with Thunder and the Marceau, but the Marceau needed to have more health so he could drive out and YOLO torp the DM here, so that it would free up the Thunder to at least have a chance at winning.
Yeah, but the Petra has vision, and I don't think they know. They don't know. The Thunder has no idea that there's an Ohio here.
Oh, God.
They have no idea. They are spotted by the Petro.
Do you think Darth Enning... He's going to be proxy spotted in a second here. Do you think Darth Enning's just going to go for the ram here?
I don't know. He might.
Oh, Thunder...
But they don't know about the Marceau. They don't know about the Marceau in the back. Wait, no, yes, they do. Wait, Darth Enning, you madman?
What? Maybe he's trying to...
Oh, he's gonna blep the Marceau and ram? That would be the play, potentially.
Yeah. Okay.
Good. Oh, he goes on the inside, which means the Marceau can't get torps off because the Thunder is blocking them.
Oh, that's smart. Huh.
Yeah, he's just gonna trade. They just straight up traded. Well,
yeah, that was a really good. I didn't think.
I mean, it's ultimately still a good trade because Marceau alone can never threaten this cap, not against the Des Moines. So that was that was War's one win condition, and TWA were more than willing to trade a higher health battleship just to eliminate that one win condition. And now it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And now what else do they have? They can't get B. They already have A, but they're not going to kill these Petros because they're both stirring in here. Like, look how safe TWA is positioning here. So there are no win conditions. TWA just playing this so very, very perfectly. I can't see any opening for them right now.
Yeah, they're actually going to lose A to RNG Summon once he gets up there. Because he has a health advantage on the Smolan, and there's only one Petra to support.
Now look at Sneak Snake. He just sits there with Hydroactive like, hello. What you gonna do about it? Are you gonna push? Then I'll cut away. Oh, you're not? Then I'm gonna stop. Oh, that is so annoying, man. Oh, that must be so annoying for him. Yeah, now RNG Sama just goes into A. And there's two Petros versus one on this flank, so Renegade will struggle to take this fight. And even then, it's a health advantage. It's TWA, man.
Yeah. This is actually... I don't think they had... Once their initial plan failed, they had no openings whatsoever. TWA completely choked them out.
Yeah, I mean, they had the Wolfpack tactic on RNG Sama, but RNG Sama never went for the bait. And he just played it safe, which is basically all he needed to do. And now it's desperation.
Mm-hmm. Well, you see the Goliath pushing straight into IKEA and Leighton here.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's maybe they might...
They can pick up a kill here. They can pick up a kill, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Goliath does well against Petra, especially at this range. Well, that's debatable. He can just nose in, I guess, out-trade him, but it's gonna take a while.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they only have 49 seconds. I don't think it's going to...
no, I don't think he's gonna get the kill.
And Renegade goes down.
Renegade goes down. I guess he tried to contest RNG Sama, and double small one plus RNG Sama's health advantage means that, well, he just got taken down. He might get torpedoed. No, the time will run out. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. How clean was that? How clean was that from TWA? Oh
the
my.
only ship they lost to that weird YOLO.
They lost two ships and both were to Rams.
Yeah.
That's literally... One was the Des Moines kind of YOLOing him, and the other was basically Ohio deciding, no, you're never going to push into this cap. I deny it. And wow, just so very, very clean. And I would say, honestly, a very comfortable and even, I would dare I say, easy first win for TWA. Let's send it to the studio.
Wow, what an impressive showing here from TWA in the first match. Making sure that everybody knows that North is their map and will stay their map, at least for this tournament. What do our guests think? What happened here? How did TWA take this off War so elegantly?
They took it expressly by what we all talked about, what Flambass and Stats were pointing out before the game, their ability to adapt and react, right? They took Vor took that central extra radar out by getting rid of the Stalin early. What did TWA respond? They rotated Sneaky back, and that game-breaking radar he had, where he caught all three destroyers in the B cap at the same time, just ruined the game basically for VOR.
I would say that what Chrysanthos has kind of predicted, that Vor will try to put a couple of DDs. They took 3 destroyers. Unfortunately, they didn't get any value out of their destroyers. I would give props to Vor for trying some weird things and adapting and changing their strategy like 3 times throughout one battle. You don't see that very often. But unfortunately, none of their plans actually were fruitful. And I can't see in what scenario they would actually be fruitful. They put all destroyers on one cap, but they didn't do much there with all those destroyers. That middle push with a Des Moines, I don't know what that was, but they took out the Stalin, which we have seen in the past where a Stalin from TWA goes down, they crumble, but that didn't happen. And then they tried that B, and they literally tried to take a battleship, a cruiser, and a destroyer on frontally with 3 DDs, where battleships were too far in the back to tank. So that was never going to work. And then one final YOLO didn't work. So at least they tried a bunch of things, but nothing actually was even close to succeeding. BanCV just took this very, very one-sidedly, I would say.
I kind of feel like changing up the strategy so much caused a lot of confusion amongst the players. Like having the two battleships almost in the same grid square for a while for Vor was a bit of a problem, right? I think the other big problem was moving, like you said, Flambass, moving the 3 destroyers back into one spot. We talked about destroyers are vision for a team. They had no vision. They didn't even I don't think they even caught Sneaky Snake moving from that position in the channel over by CCAP and repositioning to almost the same spot where the Stalingrad had died. In other words, replacing the radar, which is what Vor wanted to get rid of by throwing that Des Moines up the channel.
Yeah, it was a bit of a weird juggle.
When they had those 2 destroyers around the B cap, sorry, the 3 destroyers around the B cap towards the end there, the Kleber went into the cap, and it was really hard to see, like, what was that for? Did you not know that the Smarland was there? Did you not know that the Petro was a little bit further back from the island than you thought it was? Was that going to be a rush? Because if you go that far into the cap, you've got to turn around, and Kleber does not have a small turning circle, so
I had exactly the
you'd have
same
to do
question.
a U-turn to come out. Flambass said, "Oh, maybe he's going to go down the channel and escape through the left." But then Thunderer just went, "No."
Yeah, but what for? This is really like the Kleber move is something I did not understand. I mean, yes, they can try to count on, okay, the Smallland radar is going to run at some point, the Petro radar is going to run out at some point. I don't know whether they wanted to just, cap this cap with 3 DDs as quickly as possible and get away with it, to flip it. But pushing that Kleber in there seemed like a huge waste of resources because it just takes one radar. Angel Stone was there on B all the time. They let Angel Stone in a BB versus a triple DD setup take B for free without paying anything. And then Angel Stone was perfectly positioned to say, "Hey, Kleber, you can try to come here." But it for me didn't really make sense because even if that Kleber could have escaped, I don't think it would have been worth to push it in that far. And what after that? I mean, if they wanted to actually nuke either the Smaland or the Petro, he wouldn't have been able to make it there because there were 5 ships positioned to be able to cover both of the flanks for B and just nuke it. So
that felt to me like the caller said, "Okay, set up for a push, set up for a torque rush," and then halfway through the Kleber going in, the caller's gone, "No, stop," because everything's there. And so then that just left the Kleber just in the middle.
I think their tactic might have been, okay, let's all go to one cap. Hopefully we will catch and kill a destroyer. He's not going to have a smoke. If he engages us, we can kill him. And then we have hopefully a lot of HP between the 3 of us. And we are basically 3 potential kills. We're 3 torpedoes. We're 3 nukes to 3 Band CV's ships because we can YOLO rush and take crucial ships down and then deploy our own ships to take something. But that was just shut down very, very well from Band CV. They didn't get the kill on a DD. They got a 1 cap. They suicided 1 DD alone. And it was just never really going to work because Band CV never really overextended. They never really went too far besides Angel Stone trying to help Stalin by getting side shots, which then ended up just getting him a cap for free, which was shocking. And that's
it's not the first time he did it. He also did it in the match before, right? In the second matches.
Go in the middle of the map.
He loves role-playing a DD with his battleship. I've never seen a Thunderer that far up in the cap that early on in the match.
I definitely feel like VOR tried to play clever with the destroyers, and I feel like they maybe they played so clever they kind of outsmarted themselves, right? I think they were exactly trying to engineer that 3-on-1 engagement you talked about, Flambass. They sent everybody to the 1 cap with the hope that maybe they could catch RNG out with a radar or something, and they could just triple team him. That didn't work. RNG played too far back. He was too good to get caught out like that. Fine. And one of the things I liked was that they put the Kleber into the cap. They baited out one of the radars. They ran him off, and then they immediately repositioned him. So they let TWA get a glimpse of, okay, the Kleber's on this flank. And by that point, they still hadn't seen the other 2 destroyers. Then they let him see the small one. And then only towards the end did the Marceau even get lit on radar. So for the longest time, probably the first 4 minutes of the match, TWA wasn't even sure where all the destroyers had been until accidentally they caught a sniff of the Marceau. It was like, okay, now we know they were all 3 at least at one point over at the A cap. But by then, the Kleber had already moved because you can do that with that ship. I'm not positive they had a good plan for the Kleber after that because by then the C cap was already in the hands of TWA. So now what do you do with this guy? You can't shove him into B. As we talked about, there's a Thunderer right there. So I don't know. But I liked what they tried.
I still have to disagree. I don't like what they did. It's a bit like the story of Smile. They tried to take all of their eggs, put it into one basket, and gambling on TWA making the mistake of committing one DD that far in that they can take him out. But with it, I mean, for me, it's just they have a triple DD setup, and they still handed the map control and cap control over to TWA, which is something that you wouldn't expect with a DD heavy setup, because the HP advantage is going to be on TWA side, and they know how to play this. So for me, it felt like they tried to do this and they tried to change it up, but they were never really at a point where they could take this off of TWA. That's at least like the way I looked at this is like, I thought maybe they can use the DDs to make some interesting trades that take TWA off their game, but it just didn't materialize.
Yeah, it didn't feel like they were using their destroyers like a destroyers. It was pretty much like a kamikaze YOLO runs. We're going to use these DDs to take strategical ships down that we can't dig out otherwise. And that's going to be a couple of DDs dead for a couple of big ships, and then we're going to use our big ships to just get the map control and assert dominance. But it really backfired, because the way they ended using destroyers was in an open, direct gunfight with classes and ships that counter DDs, which was never going to work. So, bit of a weird approach. I like props to them for trying, but the way that they tried was pretty much doomed, I would say, from the start.
Yeah, they tried to cut a rock with scissors.
Kind of, yeah.
And now I'm interested to see, so what is Vor going to change up, especially on Land of Fire? Are they going to try to keep bringing a triple DD setup? Are they going to try to change it up a bit to see how they can counter TWA? Because we've seen TWA on Land of Fire before, and they do make some risky plays to get their cruisers, for example, into position on the A cap. So how are they going to handle this?
I think this is a good map for what Vor potentially tried to do in B, because there's a lot of positions where there's going to be cruisers behind a rock, and if you want to YOLO, this is the map to do it. If you want to take destroyers and YOLO enemy cruisers, this is the perfect place to do it. Unlike North, where if you want to do it, you have to charge down the narrow channel and absorb all the incoming fire before you can even YOLO. Here, you get pretty much safely behind a rock, you spend there, and you wait for your moment, and then you charge and you nuke the cruiser behind it, your cap. The question is, can you extract afterwards, which is where we usually see DDs die. But if they want to do their heavy DD YOLO thingy, now this is probably the map to do it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try this again.
I'm curious to see what they will bring, because I've seen a lot of teams here trying to. You see actually a lot of Goliaths and Hindenburgs to kind of counter the map positions and to just take down the Petropavlovs on B, for example, with the combined HE power. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think the TWA will really change anything up compared to what we've seen before, because their tactic seems to be working for them in a very decent way, and they looked so convincingly yesterday when playing on Land of Fire. So.
Like you said,
you know
they
what
do
I'd love
risk
to
a
see?
lot getting that cruiser into A, and that can go wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It almost
I'm gonna
did
be watching
yesterday.
that. Yeah, I'm going to be
Yeah.
watching that corner with interest. Yep.
I'd love to see VOR play a Kleber comp. Go
You mean
back
like
to the
a-
old 4 Klebers, just wolf pack around, do stupid things. I mean, at this point, what you're used to doing ain't working, right? So
But they kind of did very close to that in the first game. They blubbed with 3 destroyers, and it didn't really work.
But they put them into one pack, right? And they didn't really go for big targets. They tried to get the DD. So we'll have to see. It's just wow. TWA
There's more
is
potential.
very impressive today,
I think
as
there's more
usual.
potential
But
on this
still.
map. I think there's more potential in this map for rushing with the Kleber or the Mosso. The islands aren't as, especially on the left side of the map, the islands aren't as long. You don't have as far to go to get around them to do the rushes. So potentially around the islands in A and next to B, maybe they could pull something off there, like deleting a cruiser.
Yeah,
It's
maybe,
more open.
Maybe. But then again, I would not deploy all of the DDs in one spot. I would actually just take the Kleber and take like clear, dedicated, just hits out on the enemy.
The thing that's a bit different from Ban CV today, from pretty much all the other times we've seen them, is they're not playing with their food today. They're just strongly taking game after game after game, and usually what we're used to seeing with teams like TWA is, we're gonna almost lose, or we're gonna drop a game, and then we're gonna take it. It's gonna be close. Today is like, no. We don't have time for this. Win, strong win, super strong win, dominating win, and we'll see if they can keep that up 2-0 now as well.
They've all got hot dates tonight. They're ready to get this over with.
Well, TWA is actually fielding the Tokyo Game Show camouflage. That's clearly lifting them to higher places.
Well, players are ready.
Teams up, teams
Nice.
ready. I think we're going to be gone soon.
So this is a best of 3. So if TWA manages to take this map, that means TWA will be the winner of the International King of the Sea Grand Finals. Otherwise, War will have to take this one if they want to get into the third match. So guys, who do you think is going to take this? Oh god, I see Statsbloke is like, I want to see something else, but I have to say TWA.
It's BanCV. It's just, there's no, I don't think there's any opportunity for Ford to take this. Unless something goes wrong with that cruiser push into A. But I don't think it will. So
We'll see. TWA has looked so strong today. I'd be a fool to pick against them. At the same time, VOR didn't get to this part of the tournament by being terrible. So it would not shock me to see them steal this game and force a game 3. But I'm going to pick TWA.
I'm going VOR.
I will stick to BanCV, but I think this is Vor's pick. And this is literally their last chance to do anything. But if they're going to do it, it's going to be on their map. I think they might have something up their sleeves. So I wouldn't be surprised if they take it. But I like the adaptability from BanCV has been impressive today. So I'm sticking with them.
Well, I have to say, TWA, you are very strong today. Even stronger than usual. So I'll give it to you. I think you're going to take this one. But Vor, this is your chance to prove me wrong. Mr. Conway?
Look, Vor, give us a third game in this best of 3, please. I believe.
So looking forward to a really, really great match. We'll be sending you off to our casters. Have a very lovely match, and we'll see you on the other side with the winner of the map Land of Fire. So enjoy it, and take care.
Good luck.
Yep, see you after the game.
Yep.
And we are live with the second and potentially deciding game of this series. TWA, extremely convincing. Well, not just against not against War earlier, but also against Smile in the game earlier. They have been on a streak, and honestly, they look quite unstoppable right now.
Yeah, after that last game, that extremely convincing win, it really looks like they might just roll this team over again, take this last map.
I mean, they've countered two completely different playstyles. First from Smile and now from Vor, and every time it's been so very convincing. I feel like the games haven't really even been that close in the end. It's always been TWA has map control and the other team struggles to break it. Now though, double Ohio, double Nevsky, double Petro, double Kleber, and a Marsol. Where do you think they're gonna park these Nevskys?
I have no idea.
No smoke?
No smoke, nothing. I mean, the thing with the Nevsky is it trades so poorly in open water. And then on top of that, I don't feel like it does very poorly against Petra, just because the guns are tiny, it doesn't really have the pen that it needs to do damage to it.
I mean, saying it trades poorly in the open is, at long ranges, it trades quite well, when it can sit at like 18 km angle. But the problem that it comes down to that if you're gonna play two Nevskys without smoke and you're gonna utilize that extreme range, then you need tools to keep your targets lit. And I'm not sure against the full Petro comp that these Klebers and Marceaus can achieve that.
Yeah, no, there is absolutely no way they can keep anything lit long enough for the Nevskys to burn it down. Maybe the Thunder at best, but that's also hoping that he doesn't do anything else. He just sits there and lets you kill him.
Yeah, overall, I'm not seeing what their game plan is. Maybe they have some ace in the sleeve, something we haven't considered. As Fidelis is rushing for this island, Vor not opting to use a smoke as we've seen some other teams do. This is the EU style, which is basically we don't care about smoke, we're just gonna rush in. The Russian teams, the CIS teams, they always smoked the Petro up. But so far, most of the times we've been seeing Petros basically get there unscathed.
The thing that I think is weird here is TWA has played the Petro in mid in the past, but they are completely foregoing that position this time.
RNG Sama, preemptive torps right in front of Renegade. Renegade might actually be charging right into this. That third torpedo... no range, okay. But they will know exactly where each other is, and once Renegade doesn't get radared, he'll also know that it's not a small one there.
Yeah. I actually favor TWA's position here because they're probably going to put Blood Legend into the cap and bring RNG Sama out of the cap. And like we talked about before, if you have a cruiser in that position, it can actually shoot and do things. The Kleber is just there threatening the YOLO the entire time. So.
Yeah, I'm also wondering, how does Vor intend to stop this double Des Moines Kremlin push that's coming around the 9 to 10 line? They got a Petro and a Ohio here and the two DDs. I don't really see that being able to stop this push in its tracks.
They might just, if the Des Moines play aggressively on the islands, they might just trade the DDs for the Des Moines. Because that would be, I think, a positive trade for them. They'd get more HP out of it.
We'll see. The Ohio 4th Chronicles is pushing up to support them. It is essentially a 5 versus 4 in favor of TWA on this flank, which of course means that TWA is outnumbered 5 versus 4 on the other flank. Renegade, is he looking to go around the island? He's going to get radared by Blood Legend in just a second. I mean, they have changed the stealth radar from, or the concealment on the Petro from, what, 11.7 to 12.1, but with that slight delay in rendering, by the time you spot the Petro, you're still gonna get radared. That really hasn't changed.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real here, that basically did nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's really it. If there wasn't for the rendering delay, maybe, but right now, especially if you sail towards a Petro sailing towards you, you're gonna be at 11.5 by the time you spot him. RNG Sama is getting reset. See, they don't have the power that Vor has now, because they opted to forego the Petro in the center. So as Fidelis can reset and harass this camp all the time, but TWA has no such counter.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they thought that the Asian team would do what who did they play yesterday? Cloud with the Wooster on this map. They actually did get that kill with that really weird Wooster positioning. So
You're right. They parked the Wooster in the center. I remember that. They parked the Wooster in the center and lobbed shells across the map. Renegade does get spotted, radared by Blood Legend by the looks of it, and he gets chunked a bit and forced back. They do have the Hindenburg here. The Nevskys though, how well will they trade on this flank? Petro Hinden versus double Nevsky?
They don't have the vision though. Like they're not trading if they can't see, and TWA is not going to shoot for no reason. So I think the smart thing that Vor is doing right now is they do have 3 DDs, so they're rotating the Marceau out to mid, and once they realize there's no radar besides the single Petro, they will probably pick up that cap for free.
Indeed. Once again though, do we see the Vor's triple DD camp not getting any real cap advantages anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the downside of all the maps that they've picked so far. On North and on this map, it's very, very easy to have radar coverage on all the caps here.
Ooh.
So...
Keon Layton just got chunked hard by the Ohio, and he's in full retreat here.
Yeah, I really want to see this Ohio kind of do what Angelstone does and go straight into mid. If he goes straight into B, he can get shots on Goat Wizard. Or if he keeps going, he'll get shots on Goat Wizard and can start putting a lot of pressure on that Des Moines.
Indeed.
They really need to start doing stuff like that because they need to make up their HP deficit that they started with. Did they poke around?
Oh.
At A.
Oh,
what is Renegade doing?
They actually have a...
Oh, he's going to pick up RNG.
Oh, he is? Oh!
No!
He lands the torpedo. It's not enough for the kill. RNG Sama is still alive, but Nevsky will finish him off the perma radar. Now he gets back into cover. They don't get the kill on Renegade either, so both Kleber still stay alive still, but... Oh, Kleber. I mean, RNG Sama, he can't afford to spot anything at this point.
No, Renegade might die here. He's still spotted. The Petro just got the radar, and he didn't go right around the island, so...
Oh, is it gonna be another shot? No, he's going dark.
Oh no, he switches to the next.
So he does get away with 3.4k. So both Kleber's almost dead, but not fully dead. However, in order to facilitate this, Dark Temple pushed up a fair bit in order to get this pressure in. And this means Dark Temple is vulnerable not just to the Hinden and the Petro, but potentially to the Thunder Volley over the islands as well. Triple fire on Dark Temple, he's accelerating, trying to get into cover, and now I'm honestly just waiting for this Angelstone Volley that's guaranteed going to come in at some point.
I mean, the bright side is he should be able to go dark at once he stops shooting. After the fire burns out, RNG Sama does not dare to poke his ship out again, because that will basically mean instant death.
Twinkle Twinkle, what on earth happened to him? Oh no, we missed, while we were focusing on this Twinkle Twinkle, I was looking at the health deficit. Both the Klebers from Vor are basically dead. What happened to Twinkle?
I believe
Smolentort?
I was at the Smolentort, but he was trying to contest the cap from the island in F8, So maybe what happened was they got him in a full Des Moines radar and just hit him a bunch, or a small one.
Regardless, though, that's both Klabers basically out of commission. They won't be able to do anything without being traded instantly. So they only really have the Marceau, and they have capped B with that. So they are generating some points, but they have they're down 40k health against TWA. Oh, and look at this. The Marceau is pushing up while the Petro is radaring. The idea is, of course, to give Marceau vision so that he can kill off the Kleber. That's what he's looking for, but RNG-sama, he is not budging an inch. He's tucked into this corner, and I'm pretty sure he's gone AFK, he's getting something to eat, maybe going by the toilet, reading the newspaper, because he's not going to be moving for some time.
I think they need to play more aggressive with this Marceau on the flank. If they can kill RNG-sama, then they can give these Nevskis the room they need to farm. Because he can just keep the Thunderer lit permanently, forever. A Renegade can keep the Thunderer lit, and then the Nevskis can kill off Angelstone.
Yeah, but Dark Temple is in trouble, though. He got farmed so hard, and Angelstone's just been blepping him with that AP to the point that, well, he's using the heal now, but he's still below 20. And now Buki takes shots, and there's another set of AP out on him as well. Can he dodge?
I don't think so. The Nevsky is so clumsy.
Yeah, the dispersion looks pretty good. Oh, no hits. He does accelerate out of it. But the Marceau is zoning out the Angelstone, which means that RNG-sama is going to be vulnerable very, very soon, and he probably doesn't even know it because they don't have any vision of this Marceau push. And any second now, oh, he's looking for it. You know he's looking for it. If they can kill RNG-sama, they open up A, and they can finally get the cap advantage. That's really their win condition right now. And Kulashiku just tries. Oh, he finds the booty, but oh, it was bait by RNG-sama. He reversed out and instantly accelerated away, and Kulashiku his position becomes known because of that, and now he's in huge trouble because the Thunder is basically right next to him with HE loaded. He's looking for the kill. He's trying to lob shells over the island, but RNG-sama just ducks in and hides, and he can't get the kill. He can't get the kill! And the Thunderer, meanwhile, he's just reloading. Imbrandis is pushing up, starting to chime in as well. This is gonna become an absolute disaster for Kulashiku very, very soon. All that health, he had it down to 11k. Oh no! He just got baited so hard. 8.5k, 7k, he's running for his life, and Imbrandis is just farming him. I'm surprised Imbrandis didn't commit harder to this, but Kulashiku is set on fire as well, which extends his spotting range to the point that Angelstone will get another shot off, and the HE is in the air. Oh, such lucky dispersion! But he's still he only now goes dark. The final volleys are in the air. Blind fire at this point, and the blind fire from Blood Legend is perfect. And the Marceau hunting for the 1k health RNG-sama is the one who actually ends up going down. And Ohio eats torpedoes from Imbrandis in the meanwhile, down to 40k health. Ohio has been getting farmed on this flank, not being able to take the fight against the Des Moines Kremlin combo. This is once again TWA just getting control on every flank, and Vor, they have no DD health left.
Yeah, they have no way back into it either, I think. Unless, I don't know what happened to Darth Enning. He's like at 40k. If they can somehow no, he's not going to let them. The only way that I think Vor has to back into this is if TWA makes a catastrophic mistake moving forward.
Look at Goat's Wizard's position as well. He's parked just behind the island and just lobbing shells over the island on the Ohio. The Ohio who ate torpedoes and probably used his damage con. Can they get fires on him as well? They are trying. Looks like he finally gets away. But, I mean, look at the health pools. What are they going to push in with now?
Yeah, they have nothing to push in with. Actually, their best bet is maybe if they can get a lucky kill on Imbrandis as he tries to cap B here. But he doesn't even need to take B. He can just sit on the caps and wait 11 minutes for the win. Or 8 minutes.
I mean, I'm surprised they haven't tried Renegade just YOLOing RNG-sama and then pushing one of the cruisers up on the cap.
I mean, the problem is if they push any cruiser onto the cap, if TWA recognizes and does the exact same thing, I don't think
it's this similar stalemate again, except, yeah, well.
Yeah.
Blood Legend? Oh, Buki is in trouble here. I think Buki is forced to accelerate away.
Yeah, there's no way he can sit here trading now that Dark Temple is moving towards mid.
Alright, he's trading 1 versus 2, and against the Hindenburg of all things, it's that's never gonna be pretty. And if the Thunder gets a good volley in to chime in, oh no, yeah, he's forced to full retreat right now.
Honestly, I was favoring Vor into this game until favoring Vor in this game until RNG-sama.
Oh, the Ohio! What? He's being shot. I think the Kremlin shot him over the islands. Darthening got him over the islands because he's giving full broadside, not aware that Darthening is just waiting for his opportunity here. And he's down to 11k in full retreat. He's forced to angle because of the torpedoes, which means Darthening will get another perfect shot at his broadside. Oh no, this might be the end of Miani right here. The AP is out, 18 kilometers away. Oh no, big hits. 8.6k health. They still have vision though, but Ohio has the heal. Ohio does get the heal off. Can they get a fire on him? They do get a fire. He will stay spotted because of that aim-brand is spotting in the center. 12k, fire is up. Thunder, does the Thunder have the shot on him? Yep, Angelstone HE is in the air, and it's against the full broadside Ohio as well. That's potentially going to be all she wrote. 4,000, and does he have damage con? I doubt it, because he probably used it to disengage earlier. 3,000 health, Petro HE.
You got the radar too.
Yep, just to make sure. 12,000, he will be burning down. TWA, textbook performance yet again.
I have to. I can't overstate how good that bait was.
Yeah.
Until if the Marceau actually picks up that kill, I think Vor is in an amazing position. But that bait had to shoot and then go forward before he's in a good position.
Yeah, but then, I think he got frustrated and he was so annoyed that he lost all the health. So he was like, "I can't pick up this kill. Come on, guys, trust me, I can pick it up." But then RNG Sama just refused to budge and just sat there, knowing that he cannot get the hits in, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, I mean, what the Marceau needed to do there, if he held his shot a little bit longer and got a wider angle, he could have made it a trade at least. He would have been able to kill RNG Sama. At the right angle.
Yeah, but you don't want to trade when you have 24,000 health and RNG Sama has 1k. You want to just pick up a kill and disengage, but it went completely pear-shaped.
Nevsky does go down to Angel Stone after a good amount of trading, I guess. And they're not even going to be able to pick up Angel Stone. He's just going to run straight away and go dark.
No, I mean, Asphodelos can he chase? No, he can't. The Hindenburg is pushing up to get the crossfire. Yeah, the Hindenburg is pushing up and the Petro is pushing up. Well, the Petro is slowly turning his ship around. But there's no way Asphodelos can get this kill.
Yeah.
Angel Stone can just go dark whenever he wants to, and there's the Embrandis Torps to worry about as well.
Yeah, I mean, Diva's probably... I don't know, Diva might be the next person to go down. I'm surprised they haven't just killed Renegade at this point. Like, pushed up a cruiser now that the Nevskys are totally gone.
No, I don't think they're really in a hurry, though.
Yeah, that's true. They're just farming.
Yeah, they're just farming. I mean, they're everywhere I look, they're trading better. This Divarts, what is he gonna do here? Like, he's being shot by a Des Moines that I think he literally cannot see. Now, he can see the Des Moines. Nevsky's giving him vision now. Nevsky's giving him vision, but he can't shoot back. He can't see the Petra that's shooting him. So he's just being farmed, and can he reverse? Probably not as far as he wants to, because then Darthening will just push up and blap him. Yeah, he's trying to reverse now. And how much you want to bet Darthening is going to push up when this happens?
I don't even know if he needs to push up. He could just sit here and wait.
Oh,
actually, no, he doesn't need to. No, he can. You think he can arc over that little lip?
I'm not sure.
Of the island there?
He doesn't have. What does he have vision of? Not really anything. He's waiting for the Kleber YOLO, no doubt. I think the Ohio is going to go first, draw the hit, and then the Kleber YOLO comes in.
I mean, he's going to have to land. This is such an awkward angle to YOLO from. If his nose was actually pointed the other way, I think it would have more of a...
Note that Darthening has no support. All the TWA ships are on the other side of the island. Dark Temple, though, almost going down. Asphodel is almost going down. Petra is pushing... The Petropavl is pushing up on Renegade. Every single ship on board is dying. We got 4 ships on board that are about to die simultaneously. This is completely ridiculous. The level of out-trading going on here. Like, this is such a brutal outplay right now when you consider the TWA literally hasn't lost a ship yet.
Yeah, I mean, I do have to give the benefit of the doubt. They are playing it.
There's one.
2 a.m. Asian time.
Right, so. There's a second one about to go down, and here comes the Ohio drive-by. But he can't afford to trade.
But they lose instantly, actually, if they lose the battleship here.
But I think Kremlin will want to go for the trade. Or are they trying to bait out the trade with the Kleber?
No, I think the Kleber just doesn't want to die here, but I really don't, Yeah, Darthening's just going to go for the ram, and that's kind of it.
Thunder takes down the Nevsky. Darthening is just going to ram this.
The enemy is about to win.
That means they don't get a perfect score, but I mean, that also means that there's absolutely no way back for War. They're just playing it 100% safe. As Fidel is surprisingly still alive, but will go down to the crossfire right now, and even the Kleber is being rushed by the Petropavlovsk, being forced out behind the island, even though he does not want to. No, he will actually go down, and wow.
No mercy.
Literally no mercy. That is brutal. Brutal in every way. Last game, the only 2 ships TWA lost were to rammings. This game, once again, the only ship they lost was to ramming. When it comes to straight up gunboat, straight up trading, straight up fighting, map control, everything, absolute domination. Good lord. I mean, this was Smile and Vor in a row. Just straight up in a row, basically completely crushed. Very, very well deserved King of the Sea international champion. There is very little argument to be made about anyone else even coming close to this level. So congratulations to them, and let's send it off to the studio.
Wow, what an impressive match. Congratulations to TWA/BanCV for taking home the crown, and now they can officially claim to be the king of all of the seas, not just the home seas on the EU server. Oof. Guys.
That was once again a very impressive performance. Vor tried again some a bit weird moves with their DDs. They brought 3 destroyers. I was sure that this time there was going to be some proper YOLOs and trades. But I think they got a bit surprised by BanCV not putting a Petro, but a Kleber. And then they were like, oh, okay, let's try to do this not a suicidal way. I can torp him. And then they try to torp him, and they torped him, but he survived. And you lose entire HP of your DD, so now you can't YOLO properly anymore. Okay, let's take a second destroyer, and make sure you're already running away when starting to shoot this guy so you don't lose all your HP. So he doesn't go deep enough to actually kill RNG Sama, and he ends up getting killed. So that's 2 destroyers for not getting a kill and a cap. And on the other side, we had a 3rd destroyer trading poorly as well. Nothing was going the way I think they designed. Like, Vor was just... everything was against them in this game.
I still feel like, I mean, we could talk about the Marceau misplay for an hour and probably never really fully analyze what happened there. I feel like that was the whole match.
I'll tell you what happened to RNG Sama.
Well, I can tell you what happened to RNG Sama. My point is, what I can't tell you is what was going through Kalashiku's head, in the sense of he had the ability. There were Zath and I were talking about this. There's 2 or 3 different ways they could have executed RNG Sama in that position. Okay, he's on 1200 HP. A salvo, maybe 2 from the Marceau's guns, and he's out. So now all you have to deal with is, how does the Marceau escape that position with the maximum amount of HP? There's a small island on the north side of that cap. He could have snuggled up to that island, had shots, killed RNG, played throttle games till he dropped detection, and then repositioned. He could have flat out charged RNG at point blank and assassinated him, and then just used his speed to duck right back around the other side of the island. Just gonna sweep all the way across the north and right back around the south and been down there where Renegade was. At that point, now you're up, you're even on kills, and you're going to be up on caps. You're putting the onus back on TWA. Make a play, fellas. And now you can reposition the Marceau somewhere else.
Let me just interrupt for a second. We have an opportunity here to jump in, actually, to the Game 3 of Lair versus Smile that will be going on right now. So we could actually show one more game. I think everybody's on board. So casters, get in the room.
Literally close the
game. They're holding it for us. And we can actually see who's going to be third as well. We can have a look at a proper Russian showdown between Russian teams. It's going to be good.
Yeah, now we're talking.
There you go.
Do we know who opened the room?
Yeah, I typed it in the chat.
Okay. Yes, so we'll be doing this. Congratulations to TWA. Really well played. Absolutely
they played
deserved.
Well.
Like all of the matches that we've seen today, all of the matches we've seen yesterday, they definitely deserve to be called King of the Seas. And I just have to say, impressive. Super impressive, and doesn't take it away from War and all of the other opponents like Smile for TWA. A big shout out for them to playing also for if you're from the Asian cluster, from the NA cluster, obviously very weird times to where they usually would be playing. So take that into consideration. And yeah, and now I'm happy to see the Russians.
We're going to North again.
Oh, North. Oh, that's
North is map free.
That's going to be interesting because we see 2 very different playstyles Lair was the team that pushed on AB, and we have Smile with the smoke push. So that's going to be an interesting clash of potential metas.
Just one thing to mention. This is Russians first versus Russians second.
So this already happened basically last
rematch.
There's going to be some bad blood here.
These teams know each other so well because Lair has been around for a very long time on the CIS cluster as well. And one of the top teams right there with the Smile gaming community. So this should be good.
I do have to say, from what I've seen, Lair was more impressive in these internationals than Smile. So this could be a perfect opportunity for them to take the third game and be at least internationally better.
Is this based on your experience when you saw them only watching by playing against TWA? Because that might be a bit unfair to Smile.
From what we've seen so far, yes. Like from these 2 days, Lair has been more impressive, but we'll see. I'm very curious how this is going to go.
Okay, I don't think we want to keep the guys waiting for too long. Is everybody ready to jump into this match?
All right, I think we're ready. I don't know. Guys, are you all in the training room?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. This is very, very nice from the Russian teams also to wait for all of the Europeans and Americans to jump into that game to watch it. I hope they're going to appreciate also getting broadcasted here on our channel. So that should be good. So let's do the rounds. Who thinks is going to win this one?
I'm cheering for Lair. They impressed me far more than Smile, so I'm cheering for them. I think they deserve a win.
We saw Lair do this map yesterday as an opener. It was the most entertaining game so far of the weekend, I have to say. I'm excited to see them play it again. I'm going for Lair.
I'm going for Lair as well.
I'll go Smile then.
So you can see
one in every crowd.
You can see me right. I'm going with Smile Gaming. I think they got this. Mr. Conway, you have a pick?
I'm gonna go and say Smile is gonna take it.
Okay, so it's evenly split, 3-3. Cool. Yes, something I wanted to point out because it came up in chat earlier. So for this King of the Sea collection, if you didn't manage to get all of the collection items, you will have a chance to get more of them in the next King of the Sea season, which is going to be King of the Sea 12, roughly happening in, I would say, like half a year. And keep in mind that the exchange rate for the collectibles is 1-to-1. So if you have like 15 collection items and one duplicate, you can just trade it in. It's a 1-to-1. So duplicates don't really have any negative aspect here in this collection. Use it.
Just cash it in.
Exactly. Get your tier 7 container. And with that, I think the teams are jumping into this map and we'll be handing over to our casters. Enjoy this game very, very much. I hope it's going to be very good. And then we'll see you on the other side and talk a bit about today. So enjoy it and see you on the other side.
See you after the battle.
Good luck to the teams and give us an exciting match. Bye-bye.
And we are live with the third place match. The game is 1-1, and what we have here is basically a bit of the CIS El Clásico. These two teams have faced each other so many times, and I'm pretty sure Smile has defeated Lair like 4 times 2-1 in a row, or 3 times or something just during this King of the Sea. They knocked them down to the lower bracket, they climbed back, and they beat them again. And this is what, Lair's 4th time. And the games are always incredibly close, but somehow Smile always wins. So now is their chance to at least claim a win at the very end of this tournament. Can they do it though?
Yeah. Maybe if they take some inspiration from TWA, I could totally see them beating this comp on this map. That being said, knowing Lair and seeing how they usually play, I feel like they're probably just going to have a massive battle.
Yeah, and they're gonna YOLO in. They're not gonna. That's the thing though. Like whereas TWA sees the Smile comp, they kite away. Lair sees the Smile comp and they go YOLO. Let's take this fight. We can do it. I believe.
Yeah. Honestly, I could. I think it would be hilarious if Lair did the like the Iron Curtain thing, where they see the smoke go up, and then all of a sudden all the Petros just press W and get a crossfire and start radaring it over and over again.
Look at the amount of stuff they're gonna throw into the smoke though. It's gonna be double Hindens and a Nevsky. So they only really have one radar, but that's a lot of firepower. And they're sending the Ohio and the Petra down this flank as well. So the only one once again going to see is Meduska. Same thing as they did against TWA. TWA made him pay for getting this cap quite severely, in fact. But I think the Clabear is going to get this cap for free against Lair.
Is DNO Gaming AFK?
I looked at it, but his guns were pointed. The guns were pointed like...
I think he might have VC'd. They can actually still call the mulligan. You have 2 minutes. And
no, but see the guns.
So it's only 8.
Look at the guns. They're not. They are moving.
No, but I think what happened was he moved and then stopped.
No, but the guns are literally moving and the ship is moving. So he's not AFK. I'm not sure what he's doing. Maybe he just got a perfect spawn, so he's waiting for the Ohio to catch up.
Yeah.
Oh, Smile does get caught as well. The Moskva radar catches him. The aggressive Moskva is close enough to get a full radar and Medusko. And oh, is he overturning here a bit? I think he's gonna ground. He's gonna ground. Can he get into cover enough? Ooh, barely skirting the island, he gets into cover. He does lose about 10,000 health, so they do get a good punish in on him.
That's way more than he would have liked to lose going in there, actually.
Right?
Usually you don't take that much.
But then usually you don't get a Moskva with basically the perfect spawn who just pushes straight down in and gets the crossfire with the radar as well.
Yeah. I'm surprised the Summers actually did not save his torps for when the smoke started.
Alright. No, he just RPF torp, but honestly the torps are actually pretty damn good. They're gonna be hydro guaranteed with 2 Hindens here. There's no way they don't have at least 1 running. But they will probably delay this a bit and kind of zone them out a bit.
Yeah. I mean, this would work out very much in their favor if they had the DD going for the cap. Oh, it looks like they spotted the torps.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you just... we saw how TWA dealt with this Smile smoke train, and that was just delay, and win the rest of the map. We'll see what Lear's answer is. They are counter-smoking and pushing in. Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, we said it, and I was like, alright, so TWA got away from them. Oh, what the hell? Is Ferry gonna eat? No, they ran out, okay.
Yeah, they're running out.
Yeah, no, I mean, we said, like, TWA cut it away, all of a sudden the Layer's like, yeah, so we're just gonna put up our own smoke.
Yeah, they haven't even seen what's in there. They haven't seen any of the smokes. They just know RPF is pointing there and there's no one spotted on the map. So in that sense, they actually don't know what's there.
Yeah, but I mean, they've played each other 3 times in a row.
Right, and they just saw, guaranteed they just saw what Smile did against TWA.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't notice, but they did swap out. I think it was 2 Nevskis, right?
Yeah. They swapped one for an extra Hindenburg.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really like the positioning of these Petros here. They don't have any crossfire at all on the pushing smoke blob. So in an HEDPM war, I think.
Summers is radared. But
did you see those shots?
Yeah, he juked it, but a lot of incoming shells. Uh-oh. Oh, they do get hits. Are they going to blind fire based on the hits? I'd be surprised if they didn't. Nope. But that's because they got vision of Fordriant. Is gonna smoke. There it is.
Yeah, he probably saw they getting targeted by like 6 or something.
Yeah.
Notification was like, oh, yep, nope, pressing the smoke button.
Still some blind fire in on him. So what is going to be the response here? They're actually... They are blind fire coming in on the Sumerus. Do they have vision? They do not, so it's all blind fire. But the Sumerus will pick up
He's gonna pick up his cap. It is really good for them. I mean, they're starting to tick points now, clawing back some of that disadvantage. It looks like they're going to send Vanny.
Oh, this is the same Smile tactic we saw earlier. This is their middle push tactic. They're going to push the Petro and Ohio up to the center, and they're going to push the other Petro and Ohio up. Yeah, I think it was Lair who did this against Smile?
Yeah, Lair did this. No, Lair did this against Enough. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah, they absolutely crushed Enough with it. They isolated this entire part of the map, and then they just steamrolled through the center. We'll see how Lair deals with this. This is their own tactic, except Lair used 2 Kremlins. Whereas Smile is using 2 Ohios. Yeah. That is interesting.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Lair did actually scout it, unlike Enough.
Right.
So they have where all the ships are.
Uh-oh. Sislik Hippo. He's gonna eat 1 deporter torp guaranteed. Oh, never mind. Oh. How many times have we seen this tournament?
RNG Sama last game. There was another ship too.
Yeah.
Yep. What happened to Bon Vivant? How did he get chunked that hard from the Ohio?
I don't know, but this Ohio is losing a ton of health doing this push through the center. And what is Ishin gonna do? The Petro is gonna push up, is gonna turn in. He might. Ishin is threatening to push around the flank himself.
Yeah. I really want to know what Dr. Webb's move is, because if John Sheridan actually makes this push, he's gonna kill both of these ships.
Right.
There's nothing really stopping.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what is their counter to John Sheridan just keeping W pressed and pushing around. He's stopping, man. John Sheridan could literally charge around. John Sheridan could just charge in here and probably kill both of these guys.
Yeah. Oh, he's going for the crossfire on all of the far flank. All the Petros over here a bit. I mean, he knows the Yamato is just AFK there. He can't move. He can't go forward. He can't go backwards. So.
Bon Vivant is under a lot of pressure from the Ohio.
Yeah, he kind of needs the Yamato to get these bow sits, but
he's not getting them. Yeah, he's not getting them. RNG not favoring him.
Oh, is he gonna put the Yamato in front of Bon Vivant?
Yep.
Shot anywhere?
Yeah, it's basically Dr. Webb is just parking in front of him just to eat the shells instead.
Yeah. Mr. President is saved. These torps look like they're not going to
Oh, there's a good hit on the Ohio. And Petro gets some decent volleys in as well. The torps on the Petro, unlikely to hit because he's reversing. Might get one, but VCG Rider is in huge trouble here. This push is being stopped. I'm surprised John Sheridan didn't go for the push, and now Vanny has actually gotten around the corner to the extent that they can actually shoot them, and they're about to be boxed in by this counter-aggression. Oh, but the torps on Ishin? Ooh. No, they're not enough. They're not gonna catch him. So no Kleber torps, but Medsuko, he's gonna rush. Medusko is gonna rush here, and he's gonna delete the Yamato, almost guaranteed. There is no way they can stop this. Do they even know? They don't even have vision of him yet. Oh no, this is gonna be the nastiest surprise ever. Like opening a Christmas present full of coal. Oh, there he is. They do get vision. He comes steaming around the corner. Torps at the ready. The guns, what are they gonna do? The guns are panic turning. The Kleber doesn't even torp the Petro because he knows he's dead. He wants the main prize. He wants the Yamato. The Ohio goes down, but he's not wasting his torpedoes. He wants to delete this Yamato. He will get the torps off. Oh, but did he? Oh, he's missing some of them. He missed one, but it's still gonna be enough.
He's still gonna be able.
It's still gonna be a kill. And he even goes dark afterwards. Wow, that was a great deletion by the Kleber, and that's 2 ships down for Lair, with only 1 down for Smile. But on the other hand, the map positions are some of the weirdest I have ever seen, with Lair having both their own and the enemy spawn, but Smile having the 2 objectives.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this. And the Venezia actually is doing something that I would expect from a Russian team, but not from a Venezia player, where he is getting closer to the enemy.
Right, and he's rushing into them. But the Kleber, is Kleber just going to come steaming around the corner? Look at this Kleber.
Oh no, there's maybe actually, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, if he waits long enough for optimal, Petro is just going to ram the Moskva. Moskva is full HP, Petro is going to go down in this crossfire anyway, so he's just straight up going to go for the ram. Moskva is trying to juke, but there is no way he's going to dodge. No way he's going to dodge, right?
No.
Oh!
Okay. That was so close.
If the Moskva had accelerated there instead of reversing, he might have actually juked that, but hindsight is 2020. The Kleber peeks out. Oh, do they get vision of him? Barely.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, Venezia got vision. Looks like blind fire. No hits though.
Yeah, he had vision for a second. Oh, I think the Venezia now, I see what is going through his head. He's like, oh, Kleber's right there.
Yeah, but how much you want to bet John Sheridan is just going to cycle around and go ram the Kremlin? Because then they keep B control. And look at the position of Lair, they're all over the map.
Yeah.
If they delete him, Kleber, and Kleber, he's going to go for the YOLO on the Venezia. This is the most Russian thing ever. He's actually going to go for it. He's going to go for the YOLO on the Venezia. I don't believe it. Oh, his nose in. Uh-oh. He's trying. Oh, he's going for it. Uh-oh.
He had to slow down for the torps, but the Venezia has all his guns on. This sap is going to be so.
But his angle, he can't shoot yet. If he shoots now with the snap, he's not going to do any damage. He needs to wait for the slight broadside. It's still not enough. He needs to dodge the torps. The next volley should be good. Meanwhile, the Kremlin is pushing around through that gap. The Petro is pushing in at the same time. It is a crossfire from every possible angle. The Kleber goes down, but there's no way the Venezia is going to live long. And one of the Petros back here go down as well. Venezia smokes up. But why are you smoking up? You just shot. The smoke firing penalty is going to kill you. And it does. He goes down. And now they got a crossfire on the Kremlin from 2 sides. If the Kremlin can delete the Petro and get the ram, that would be the best. But I think the Ohio is just going to be a missile sent his way. Oh, no. I think even the Petro might just drive by him.
Yeah, I think that's the play here. Or they could even wait for the Yu Yang to have his torps loaded so they can kill him. If they just press S right here, the Yu Yang can
press S. I'm sorry, is this a Russian team you're looking at? Press S. That's not in the That's not in the vocabulary. That is not an option. Dexim has full speed engaged No slowing down allowed.
No. Look, he's pressing S.
Oh.
I can't believe it.
Oh, wow.
This is stunning.
This is stunning. Yu Yang takes all the aggro now, and he will be dropping torps, which will force the Kremlin forward. Yeah, the Kremlin has to accelerate now, because he knows there's torps coming.
Yeah.
Will he accelerate to try to get the trade, or is he just going to keep reversing?
It looks like he's just going to keep reversing.
Oh, that's going to be a free kill for Smile then.
Yep. Wow. Didn't expect him to...
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm
believe
surprised they didn't just try to ram at least one of them. And
Yeah.
that means the only ships Lair have left are kind of spread all over the map. And this flank is losing hard against this smoke DPM comp.
Yeah, I mean, the flank kind of fell apart once the Sommers left. It's not even the smoke anymore because the Yu Yang has been gone for forever.
Yeah, no, they just got out-traded by the looks of it.
Yeah. I mean, they probably were shooting all the stuff in mid for the longest time, and while they were doing that, the Nevskys and the Hindenburgs are just pounding on them.
So, is there anything more classic than Lair going down to Smile 2-1?
No, I do not think so.
How many times this tournament, right?
Yeah, this is an exact repeat of the semifinal, or the when they get sent to the losers bracket, 2-1 as well.
Right.
Apparently, they were very close games, so... Well, there's another Lair ship off the board, and it looks like the Sommers actually does not have his torps up, so I would honestly have saved him for the YOLO here. So he has no torps, the only missile he has is his ship.
Yeah, he dropped them into the smoke. Optimistic angle he's going for there. So, but...
It's not even Smile smoke, it's his own smoke.
Right, I think at this point they're just gonna suicide because they know quite well there's no recovery here. Venezia has stopped full broadside, not making any moves to evade. They know this game is done and dusted. Ohio shoots, Summers pops out. He could technically actually have gotten the YOLO if he so wanted, but he's not interested, is he?
No, it doesn't look like
I
it.
think he's just gonna go for the ram, actually.
I mean, you might as well get some damage and look better on the scoreboard at the end.
Right. What scoreboard? Hold on. Is he actually gonna get it? I don't think so. The secondary volley is gonna kill him.
Oh.
Unfortunate. And yet again, Smile proves to be the top CIS team. And they finish in third place, so it will be Smile third, Vor second, and TWA aka Ben CV taking the crown. Let's send it back to studio yet again.
Did I promise you too much? I did not. It's always a pleasure to watch the CIS teams duke it out, and there was definitely a lot of rushing B here.
I could see Searaptor at the end there in the camera doing the same thing I was, like, get the ramp, get the ramp.
Are you not entertained?
Oh yeah, that was entertaining to say the least. I was just telling Zath, I was like, you know, Zath, I don't think I've ever wanted to roll an account on Russia more than today.
I was saying exactly the same thing.
You got to see the death pick I got, guys. I'm putting it in our chat. I threw it up on my Discord. Oh my god. Wow.
This game does make me wonder a few things, though. What we've seen Smile put up against Band CV was relatively similar to what they did here, but they didn't waste any time on any ships on 9 and 10 line. They were all concentrated with 2 Petros and 2 Ohios in the middle, and that task force that was going to push on 1 to 3 line that kept the other ships busy so they can't do the cross shots, and it created so much confusion, it created so much mess for Lair, and they were too spread out, and you could see that they were not ready for such a concentrated push through the middle. And Smile kept taking like 3v2, 2v1, 4v2, because Moscow, Venezia, and Kremlin just could not respond on time. And then they did some YOLOs, they did some trades, and it worked out very well. It seems like Russian teams really like to throw their opponents out of the comfort zone. The major difference is this time they actually had a hell of a lot bigger force to do so. So I'm thinking if they did the same against Band CV and tried to neglect 9 and 10 line, would it maybe work? Was there a chance maybe?
I think there was. I mean, if you take a look at how Lair won against Enough, I think this kind of element of surprise especially on a map where you don't really have that much of a like spotting luxury of being able to just see what the enemy team is doing just with the DDs due to all of the islands. I think it can work, but I think TWA, I'm sure they looked at what happened to Enough versus Lair and had an idea of how to counter this. But it's definitely something that is very hard to counter in terms of so many ships pushing there and being able to regroup and deal with it if you go for the 9-10 line push at the same time.
Right. Tune in next season to find out.
Definitely. I think this was a really good match to end this series on as well. After TWA playing so methodically and well organized and step by step and a little bit slower, and then you see this just crazy amount of action.
Beautiful chaos is what I would call it.
Yes.
Mezuko showing us how to play Kleber. Oh
that
my god.
Kleber charge was a thing of beauty.
It was.
Masterclass.
How he didn't even bother shooting the torpedoes at the Petros. Like, no.
He's like,
I
I
got
got
anyway.
for you.
Someone else will get that shot. That's fun.
I've got a target. Quite nice. And yeah, like I think I agree. Like a fantastic point to end this King of the Sea 11 tournament on. This was the last game played, and we have our final scores. Right, King of all the Seas is TWA, also known as Ban CV. Right, TWA. On second place is Panzer 4 from Asia, and third place is Smile Gaming.
Yeah, congratulations to
fourth
everybody.
place, because we have prizes for fourth place, is
Yes, that's
Lair.
true as Lair, absolutely. And
It's
you
Lair.
have let's remember, right, that Lair came in here yesterday, and we can bring this up one more time quickly because I don't know if everybody remembers, right? Lair came in here yesterday, and Lair actually kicked out Enough, and then Lair also kicked out number 1 seed from Asia, Kaksa.
Mm-hmm.
So
We have
pulled a couple of
EU
upsets.
as the first team, and then 2 Russian team.
No, EU.
Second one is the Asian team,
Asia,
and then 2 Russian teams. Third
and 2
fourth.
Russian teams. You got it.
That's a nice mix.
Yeah,
Yes,
nice.
I agree.
A bit of everything.
Nice. It would have been. I would have loved to have seen one team from each region make it to the top 4. Unfortunately, that did not happen.
True.
You need to address this on the home front.
Yes.
I'm sure that
they
the NA
gave you
teams are
enough
addressing this
material.
themselves.
So one of the things that I've seen that I find encouraging is that we talked about this a little yesterday, right? The NA server really enjoys the ship bans because it forces more variety out of the games, and the teams really enjoy that. But there's been some discussion already after yesterday's results. Several of the teams were kind of like, yeah, but we're playing under a different rule set than everybody else is. Does that leave us at a disadvantage? We're not sure we'd like this. And so I think what we're going to see going forward, hang on a minute. I think what we're going to see going forward is there's going to be a definitive international rule set that I'm hopefully optimistic that they'll translate down to everything.
I agree. I think the rules need to be the same, but I also think, like, I think there would have been much more of a disadvantage had other teams now had to play under the ban structure because they haven't been used to it at all. Whereas NA teams, I would argue, have been used to, like being able to switch their setups on the fly with ships being banned and having more variety in there.
I agree completely. I did not expect the ban rule to make it to this international bracket. I never expected that because the other teams hadn't played with it. My point is simply that we do it on NA because we poll the teams after the tournament. The NA teams time and again have told us they really, really like it. So when we run the tournament on NA, well, I'm not an org anymore, but when the guys that run the tournament on NA organize it, they maintain that rule because the teams that sign up want it. They like it. And
that's true. I mean, look, Cheeky Breaky will be a bit sad if that doesn't happen. But I think that might be a price worth paying. We'll have a look at it.
Something else.
9 of something else. 9 Stalingrads. Yes.
Outdated. Outdated.
And I haven't, I have no team actually had the balls not to bring their 2 battleships yet.
No.
No.
Did we see? No, I don't think we saw any in the EU part of the tournament. I don't think we saw any.
I did not in NA either.
I don't think Conway gets the idea here. The idea is to bring as many battleships as you can. That's why we see Stalingrads and Petros and all that stuff as close as you can to the battleship, not away from the battleship.
Look, he just wants to see old team battles full art Miyoko style.
Oh,
that's
God,
what he
that
wants
was
to
beautiful.
Mm.
Yes. Well, guys, I think that slowly brings us to the point where we're going to have to wrap up this broadcast and fantastic King of the Sea tournament that's been going on for like almost 1.5 months now. We don't yet have a date for King of the Sea 12. I guess we'll start talking about when to do that, but my guess would be in early 2021 at some point.
Yes. So at this point, I'll just say thank you for all of our participants for this stream with Statsbloke, Flambass. Also great to finally have Lord Sath and Searaptor here also from the NA side to talk about all of this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to see these guys, you can just take a look underneath their name tag. You will see a link to their Twitch channel where you can find them. And if you like their content, maybe just check it out, leave a follow, and enjoy their content because they have plenty of cool things for you to find out. Yes. Do you guys want to give us some closing remarks? Yes, and also, like from my side, big thank you because you guys being here and having on to to give quality commentary is really helpful for us because it takes a bit of the pressure off, and it also lets us concentrate on making things run in the background. So it's really helpful. Thank you.
That's okay.
It's been really good fun.
Keep rigging RNG in my favor, and I'll keep doing this. It's okay. No problem.
Your super containers are mine now.
I'm willing to give you my super containers if he keeps rigging RNG in my favor. I am giving.
We have a big red button here that we need to push every once in a while.
I've been to Prague. I've seen your office. You do have a red button.
I just want to say thanks for having us, guys.
Absolutely.
It's been. I mean, it's not always. It's kind of an honor to get invited. It's something that Zath and I have talked about repeatedly. That we lament the fact that the previous times there's been international clashes, especially the EU NA cross servers we've done, that no NA caster has been kind of a part of the process, and that's always been a disappointment to us. So even though it wasn't exclusively NAU this time, we were able to be a part of it anyway and get a chance to look at some of these awesome teams from Asia and Russia as well. And I've had a blast. So just thanks for having us.
Yeah, and it's cool to be able to get you in for that international perspective as well. And I think this is one of the things that COVID has taught everyone is that, yes, you can do things through the power of the internet.
Yes. Okay, guys. Then thank you very much for being here. We'll talk soon. And then have a very nice evening. Or, well, I guess lunchtime for you guys. From
morning.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get lunch and a nap. I don't know what you guys are doing. It's nap time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thanks again for having us, though. Seriously, it's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Thanks for coming. And I'm sure we'll do this again. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, take care. See you.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, so chat, it's just you and, well, it's not just you.
Well,
it's all of us.
It's all of us together, yes.
It's all of us,
we'll be bringing in Flamu, I guess.
Yes, we are going to be bringing in Flamu.
So,
let me see
before
if he's
before
ready.
doing this, just a few final remarks. So, I hope you get most of the King of the Sea containers that you have been looking for. If you had issues, if your account was properly linked, you watched over 90 minutes, and for some reason the drop didn't happen, and you checked in-game, because there's an issue with Twitch notifications for some of the Twitch drops, so please double check in-game. If that didn't happen, we can try contacting our customer support and we'll try to help you. Otherwise, more containers will follow with the next King of the Sea 12 tournament that we're going to be having in a few months. We don't know yet when it is going to be exactly. You know how tricky it is, especially with the current situation. Trying to plan an event like this is a bit trickier, but we will let you know as soon as we know the dates. And if you feel like, hey, I would like to be part of this tournament as well, go join. Go sign up for it. Build a team, find some players to play with. Right now, CVC season just started, and you can also play as a mercenary. Great way to also get to know other teams, and just build one. Worst thing can happen is you might lose a few matches, but you will learn a lot about the game, and maybe you're going to lick some blood and want to be competitive and beat all of those teams you might have seen over the last few weeks. Otherwise, if you want to help organizing King of the Sea, I'm sure that our organizers and adjudicators would love to get some additional help from your side. So if you want to do that, join the King of the Sea Discord and just reach out to the organizers and adjudicators if you want to help, because they are doing an amazing job at they established this tournament, they run it, they make it so smooth. It's always a pleasure to work with them, and big shout out to everybody involved there in the background.
Absolutely. And without this army of adjudicators, there would be no possibility of doing like a tournament with 136 teams, 4,500 players globally. This would be very, very, very challenging. So thank you very much, guys. You know who you are for helping us out with this. And yes, we are waiting for Flamu, and it looks as though Flamu is indeed here. Hopefully this time we'll be able to hear Flamu right away. Let me put him in the right place. We can hear Flamu.
Oh,
but
can you see me?
But we cannot see Flamu.
Interesting. Let me actually disconnect and see if it's just the virtual camera that's bugging.
Okay, so while we're waiting for Flamu, anything else to say? Prediction winners are gonna be distributed, I guess, end of the week.
Prediction winners.
There we go.
Here we go. Flamu is here.
Oh, I forgot to add a background.
Oh, it's you in the black void again, and today also with the dark shirt.
It's a nice void. So what was I saying about the prediction contest? We know who the winners are, and your prizes will be credited next week. Same goes for tournament prizes, by the way. Now that the tournament is fully wrapped up, those will also start arriving next week. That was a cool last game, wasn't it, Flamu?
It was
bit of a change of pace.
Probably the most stereotypical Russian King of the Sea game you could ask for.
It was really nice. They play a bit differently, and I love that unbridled aggression that they sometimes show. It makes for very entertaining watching.
Yeah, but it can be quite questionable at times, to be fair about it. I mean, it's part of their style, so...
they managed to get into the semis, right?
Entertaining. Yeah,
well,
it's entertaining.
They do occupy 2 of the top 4 places in international. So you know, like it clearly does have its merits. But yeah, what did you think of the games today?
I mean, they were good, but a bit disappointing final. Some rather questionable trades, I would say, from War towards the end, especially when they suicided in the Des Moines in the center to kill the Moskva right at the start of like the decisive game.
That was a bit weird, but.
Well, I guess they just wanted to take off the Stalingrad from that position, right? To get the radar out of the way.
Yeah, it was a Stalingrad, but I mean, they had more than enough radars. They had like full Petro and small and comp. They had as many radars as they needed, and when you're running triple DD, you need DPM more than anything. So you just threw away a Des Moines for a cruiser, which for TWA was a fantastic trade, basically. And as you can see, they cycled down the Des Moines and the Småland and everything, and they kept B radared, so they never actually got any advantage out of it, and then they just got outgunned. So
my favorite play of today was RNG Summer just wiggling his butt seductively in the direction of the Marceau and saying, "Oh look, I'm here, shoot me," and then just ducking back into cover. That was.
He could have gotten away as well, the Marceau, but he was committed, and then he decided, I'm gonna go all in, and then it just didn't work out, and that was basically the beginning of the end. Just really well played by RNG Sama.
Yes, in general, TWA played pretty flawless games today. I think they saw this very much as an opportunity to show off their skills to lots of viewers again, and they did. Yeah,
I mean, but in the end. 2 maps, they lost 3 ships, and all 3 ships were to Rams. Not a single ship was lost to gunfire, so that's a statement and a half.
It is, yeah.
Super impressive. What did you think about the format of this international King of the Sea compared to the previous ones that we had?
I like it, but honestly, what I still would like to see is, there's this. Have you ever watched the Warships Masters Invitational?
Part of it, yeah.
The tournament. Yeah, and they have this mechanic where you have a certain set of points, and then you get to buy ships for those points for your team. And it basically forces diversity because some ships are more expensive, and because, let's face it, there was a lot of ships that we didn't really get to see much at all, and the winning team ran a very similar comp from start to finish with great effect. So a bit more variety would be interesting.
So, what's your opinion on the NA practice of ship bans per team?
See, in a way, I like it, but it doesn't necessarily force diversity. It just bans a couple of ships, and then you pick basically the next best thing. So, I like the point system more. I like the Warships Masters. Honestly, that's my favorite system, because there you see a bunch of ships you don't normally see. You see Z52s, and you see all these ships. Like Småland is super expensive, so people don't really bring Smålands because they can't afford it. If they do put the points into buying a Småland for their team, then they have to pick worse cruisers, and you see Woosters and things you don't normally see. So I enjoy it more. And you see Zaos. When have we last seen a Zao in King of the Sea buff?
Look, we worked at the Hindenburg. Maybe it's time to start working on the Zao. It was my first tier 10 ship.
Yeah, but this will be up to the King of the Sea organizers, and I think if we want to run also the international setup as we did today, we probably have to also unify the rules so that each team has the same kind of approach. But this will be discussed.
And probably a good idea to go over certain admin rules and such, and maybe get a bit of admins from each region taking part in the discussions, because there was a fair bit of drama in the background today, so...
Yeah, I think that's something that always goes on anyway. But with so many different people involved in it, there's always going to be a little bit of organizational issues. But I think overall it was very, very smooth, and I'm happy with the tournament. Cool. Well, Flamu, I want to say thank you very much for joining us. And also, please, a big shout out and everyone, twitch.tv/Kiririan Ichiban.
I really hope you have the logo here, because otherwise I'm just pointing at myself. So
yes, we do.
You can remove it quickly.
Remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to Flamu for free and give him some of Jeff Bezos' cash. Yes.
Indeed.
But no, yeah. Thank you very much for joining in and for providing such a great gameplay cast once again. Give a shout out to your co-caster as well.
Indeed, Kirin Ichiban. Thank you as always.
And then, hopefully we'll see you for the next one.
Yep, thank you for having me as always. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. If I made any mistakes, I'm sure I'm going to hear about them for the rest of the month. As always, I'll see you guys next time, and have a great rest of the evening.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Enjoy
Bye-bye.
Sunday.
Bye-bye.
So, I think that's it for today. Chat, everyone. I think we're gonna wrap it up there.
Yes.
It's a little bit sad every time King of the Sea ends.
Yeah, on the one hand, yes, but on the other hand, it's always a long weekend. And
2 long weekends in this case.
Yes. So, guys, final words. If you want to see more of this content, make sure to click on that follow button and come back. We will be live as usual every Thursday from 6 to 8 Central European Summertime, or 4 to 6 UTC if you want to see us here from the EU server talking about the game, answering your questions, and having some fun in the game. We'll be on the PT actually, and on the live server on Thursday, and potentially show you something cool that I can't talk about.
That you can't talk about
yet.
Potentially, maybe.
And otherwise, plenty of other cool official streams here on the official channel from the NA team, also from the SA team. Depending on the Corona situation, does impact obviously everybody here with the broadcast, and also from our CIS team. So if this is something for you, don't be shy, come back, and otherwise we'll see you around soon TM at the latest, hopefully for the next King of the Sea tournament. It's going to be happening in roughly, I guess, half a year-ish.
Yes, and from my side, thank you very much for tuning in once again, and we will launch our traditional raid on an unsuspecting Twitch channel now. I expect you to give them a big warm hug from the twins. Hashtag hug from the twins. I'll put it in the chat for you to copy pasta, and I think we're not going to stretch it out for much longer, and I'm just going to say goodbye, and we'll see you back next week. Bye-bye.
Stay safe.